If you are able, please stand and remove your hats for the observance. To join us on this occasion, we welcome RSL National President Peter Tinley AM to recite the Ode.
Careful, Connie! Attention!
They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Careful, Polly! Present! On! Careful, Polly! Shoulder! On!
Lest we forget.
would everyone please remain standing for the Australian National Anthem, to be performed by musician Sarah Little.
Careful, party! Present!
One last time this weekend, and it always stirs the emotions for all players involved, I'm sure. As AFL Round 7, Sunday footy continues here on ABC Sport. Declan Byrne is here alongside me. Hello, Declan.
G'day, Spriggy. This is exciting.
Very exciting. Always a great occasion in Canberra, with the Giants, of course, bringing the first of their 3 home games here. Beautiful conditions. And I should point out, they've made 5 changes. The Giants, with Joe Fonte out suspended and 4 players omitted: Riccardi, McMullen, Rouston and Callum Brown. Some big names back though: Jesse Hogan, who was the late out last week for the Derby, Brent Daniels, Aaron Cadman, Stephen Cornelio all back, and James Leake recalled for just his second game of the year. For the Kangaroos, a late change with Toby Pink replacing Charlie Comben, who is out with illness. Tristan Sherry is back after his suspension from the blood smearing incident. Finn O'Sullivan, who broke his jaw a few weeks ago, is also in. Out goes Callum Coleman-Jones, who is rested, and Tom Blamise, who is omitted. I mentioned former Swan and Blue Jason Saddington is here. Hello, Sado.
Hello. A lovely day here in Canberra. Absolute beauty. And a really good matchup we've got. I mean, North obviously been in fantastic form, kicking off the year. This is their test now against some serious opponents in the Giants, who haven't been going great, albeit with some injuries. Not too bad against the Swans last week. Had their chance, but some big ins today.
I mentioned 3 wins in their past 4 starts, the Kangaroos, having most recently beat up on the hapless Richmond, a team they used to be on level terms with, and now Alistair Clarkson's men proving themselves capable of taking on some of the real contenders this season. Lauren Arnell is here. Welcome to Canberra, Loz.
Yeah, lovely to be here and work with you all. I'm absolutely pumped for this game, and perfect weather for footy.
I will point out as well for North Melbourne, they're playing for a top 4 spot. So just to give you some background on that, if they get to 5 wins, they match their entire tally from last year at round 7 and would in fact equal their highest number of wins in any season since 2019. So across the past 6 seasons, they've had 3, 4, 2, 3, 3 and 5 wins for the entire year. If they do go into the top 4, it's the latest they'll have been there in a season since 2016, which was the year they won their first 9, then lost 10 of their last 12 that year, which culminated in what was their most recent final. I think Harry Sheezel was still in primary school back then, or early into high school. So anyway, it gives you some idea of what they're up to lately. The North Melbourne siders, Nick Larkey and Toby Green, meet for the toss in the middle of Manuka Oval. And that has been won by Toby Green, who will kick to the Cathedral end.
They've got a winning record here too. They used to bring games to Manuka.
They were the first home team.
So they're 12-8 here at Canberra, as opposed to the Giants, who actually have a losing record here. So they wouldn't be scared of travelling up to Canberra.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I did kick 5 against North Melbourne here. I had to throw that in. What about that?
We haven't even got the opening.
Of course you hadn't.
All up yet. You've got that in.
That's well done.
What are your expectations, Loz, on this game this afternoon?
Look, I think all of that conversation is highly relevant, and also North Melbourne's wins this year have only been at Marvel Stadium. So while they have won here in the past, I think there's a reasonable challenge against the Giants today. And I think with the changes late, with Charlie Comben going out, I'll confess, I've changed my tip. I thought North were on the money today, and I do think it's going to be a really close game, Sado, but I think the Giants, with Comben out now and their ins with particularly the experience that's required, I'm going Giants. Been a close one.
Yeah, it's a great call, Oz. I couldn't agree more. You know, with Hogan and Cadman coming in, Comben is a big hurt. Cherry Inn's a big win though, and it's interesting to see Nick Madden starting on the bench for the Giants, young ruckman. Lekalia, I think, is going to take first centre bounce. So I think we're in for a great game.
He did so in the derby last week, Lekalia. Let's head boundary side. Adam Shirley is there. G'day, Adam.
Great to have you all in Canberra, and a lovely day we've turned on, as you've already mentioned, a billiard table smooth oval to play on too. It really looks a peach. Ever so gentle northwester blowing, but it's insignificant. Just watch for the dew in the second half. Once the sun goes down, it could make it a bit greasy here.
Beautiful twilight conditions here to end the weekend as we close out Anzac Appeal round 7. Sunday footy here on ABC Sport. And you've got Declan Byrne with you.
Lekalia, second week in a row. He will start in the middle for the Giants, and he's up against Tristan Sherry back after 3 weeks. And Lekalia, the big tap. He just leapt straight over Sherry. It goes the way of the Giants. Angwin comes in from the wing, sends it long towards Hogan, also back in, but front spot. Nice mark. And Griffin Logue, the first settler for North Melbourne, kicks it to his right to Toby Pink, staring into the sun. And he shifts it right to the 150 gamer Cam Zerha, who's moved to half-back. Up the wing, marking is Larky.
Long way from home, the skipper lays off the hand pass to Daniel running by. Goes on the entry here. It's Curtis who marks it right half forward. Still 65 from goal. He just slows things down for a moment in front of the old scoreboard in the Tom Green fan club. I wonder if Tom Green's out there actually for the Giants. They go inside 50 through Simpkin, the former skipper, long to the hot spot, clamouring for it down there. Ash in defence for the Giants. Tries to find a hand pass option. Now he'll kick up that left back pocket area, and it's marked on the outer side of the ground at half back. The Giants bring it away here for Daniels, and there's no score inside these first 90 seconds.
Lockie Ash goes for a dash. He's tackled. He got the handball away. Umpire's happy to let it play. The Giants move it into the centre. Kick was affected. Lekalia, big leap. Marks just to the left of the centre circle. Gets to his feet. He's got the springs on today already, Alir. Hands off to Ash. And we might have a 50-metre. Lekalia is going to have a shot for goal. He didn't have a goal as up until last week. In the whole of his AFL career, he might have 2 in 2 weeks. He'll kick from 40 metres out directly in front.
It looks like one of those 50-metre encroach, like you've moved off the mark, and Lockie Ash, enormous part of that play. Huge effort to win the ball deep in defence and composure to get it outside 50 and then overlap for Alir, which drew the 50-metre penalty.
So Lekalia last year basically had his bag packed to go to St Kilda. Somehow that fell through. He came back in the doors first day of pre-season here at GWS. Had to wait a couple of games to get a crack. First of the season last week, he kicked his first AFL goal. And now he lines up from directly in front. 2 in 2 games for Lekalia. And he kicks the first for the Giants. It is 1 straight 6. North yet to score. We've played 2 minutes here on ABC Sport. Your experts are Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
That's a strong start, Leah. A great first centre bounce, wasn't he? Jumped straight over the top of Cherry, hit the ball forward, but then that huge leap and grab in the middle of the ground. And you mentioned Lockie Ash as a player. He runs past for the handball receives, really important for the Giants. And he drew that 50-metre penalty. You know, they came off the mark. They knew he was going to get the receive. Took a step too early, and Lekalia, lovely finish. But I think that's what the Giants need. They need Lockie Ash as one of those players to get that run going for them.
Well, he keeps guys like Dersma accountable going the other way, and you see Zerha starting at half-back again this week. He's going to try and do the same for North.
A reminder, by the way, half-time at the Gather, where it's Brisbane 9-8-62. The Crows are 6-3-39. You can hear that via ABC Listen, AFL Extra, as Leck flies high against Cherry. Giants with the clearance. Oliver's kick was smothered. Comes back here now for Sheasel with the glove on his left hand. Goes inside forward 50. Wanting to sit down there. Not quite there for Trembath, who debuted here last year for North. And now whistle on play. It will be a free kick going North's way. And Curtis, who I think was taken high. So he'll line up here, 35 out directly in front. So that game at the Gabba is available, of course, as I mentioned, via ABC Listen, our trusty app. Look for the AFL Extra button with Quentin Hull and the team there. We'll keep you across it all from here in Canberra, the final game of round 7.
Curtis kicked plenty last week, didn't he?
6 against the Tigers. And he tries to kick from 40. Straightens up okay, and through it goes. North get the response. 1 straight 6 apiece. In the opening 4 minutes here, as we continue Sunday footy on ABC Sport with Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
It's just taking their advantage there, North. As the Giants were probably out through the middle. Stringer gave the hands off to Oliver, who kicked it into the back of a teammate. The ball bounced back to North, who were able to get the ball and send it inside 50. Himmelberg lucky not to give away a free kick for Shepherd in the marking contest, but Curtis turned up, won the ball and drew the free kick. Nice finish.
Is that an ineffective kick from Clayton Oliver, even though it was his teammate in the way? Does he get stinged for that?
Probably. It's harsh though, isn't it? It's not his fault.
Lekalier's going to start in the middle for the third ball up in a row. So Nick Madden, the young ruck, who's keeping Briggs out, but at the start of quarters, they're going with Lecalier. It's worked. He's up against Sherry, and once more, he's high and above. Taps it down to Stringer. He started a few centre ball-ups as well. Tackled, held on to it a little bit too long, and Tristan Sherry is in the game. Back after 3 weeks off, dishes it off to his fellow headgear-wearing teammate in Daniel, who goes inside 50. Attacking it is Laverty. Runs at it, picks it up, and kicks it out towards Bedford. But Luke Parker chopped it off and fists it out of bounds between half forward and the wing for North Melbourne. 6 apiece, 5 minutes played here at Manuka on ABC Sport.
Seeing Alistair Clarkson on the big screen as well. In comes Sherry against Aaliyah. Down here for Davies Uniac. He can't get hands to it. Sheasel had a path cleared for him. Wrapped up by Oliver. Umpire with a whistle initially, then says lets them play. Ball extracts there for Finn Callahan. It's actually his birthday today, Finn Callahan. As the hand pass comes from Harvey Thomas off to Connor Ide. Hand pass was errant, mopped up by Dersma. North go inside 50. It's an unguarded square. This ball will bounce in the pocket towards goal. Buckley chasing it desperately, just gets there on that kick from Dersma. So it's North Melbourne 1-1-7. The Giants 1 straight 6. We've played now 6 minutes in this opening term.
I'm enjoying Alir's dominance, Sado, and I think Cherry's going to have to make sure he follows up at ground level to hold his spot here, because there'd be a temptation to throw Trembath in early.
Lockie Whitfield, 4 games behind Toby Green, who today assumes the record of most GWS games. Finds his fellow Lockie, Ash. Handball to Himmelberg, down the line to Brent Daniels. Such a crucial player. Came back for 1, then he was managed last week. He's back in this week and he marks 80 out. Luke Parker on the mark, advances as the umpire calls play on. So Daniels looks to his left and back and finds Laverty just behind the logo. Defensive half for the Giants. Plenty of time, but he's got everyone on the field in front of him. Lekalier's inside 50, but leaping high is Logue for North. Brings it down. Second effort on the ground. Harvey Thomas is there for the Giants. Spills it. Caleb Daniel cleans up for North. Hands it off LDU. He goes backwards. Aiden Corr, the ex-Giant, will settle it down, and North Melbourne mark deep in their own defensive 50.
It is with Simpkin. North by a point early. Comes back across the defensive goal mouth for the late in, Toby Pink. In for Charlie Common, in case you missed that, who's out with illness. Pink is called to play on. Exits defensive 50, out to a one-on-one. In the contest, O'Halloran falls at the back there for Cherry. Tackled down there by a small man, Harvey Thomas. On the members' wing here at Manuka Oval, the umpire says, give it to me for a ball up.
It's actually quite great to see that. Cherry and Thomas, probably the tallest and the shortest on the field, going one-on-one.
Alir and Sherry are next to each other. They're both going to take a run up at this ball up. Sherry reaches it first. Handball missed Sheasel, who tapped it back to Luke Parker. Loving this halfback roll for Parker. It's a rushed kick, though. It skittles past Laverty, who makes quick pace to beat Trembath to it. Eventually, it'll go over the boundary line, just short of the attacking 50 for North Melbourne. North leading by 1, 7-6. We've played 8 minutes here on ABC Sport. The final game of the Anzac round.
Could be smaller. Caleb Daniel or Harvey Thomas?
Daniel is, I think.
A lot of first names in there as well on those two. Tristan Sherry tracks the footy on the wing. Underground hand pass there for Sheasel. Breaks the tackle of Bedford just. Bursting by the former Swan, Dylan Stevens, on his preferred left foot. Neat entry, high and long, but it's marked down there by Laverde again. Has been busy so far in defence for the Giants. North lead 1-1-7. The Giants are 1 goal so far. 8.5 played here in Canberra. One of the local lads, Himmelberg, has it. Flares it across now for Angwin, and he goes beyond defensive 50 for the Giants. It's marked out there by Hogan.
Hogan in the sun in front of the Tom Green fan club. He spent last week on the bench. If he had the headphones on, I wonder where he is at the moment. We'll keep an eye on him. Hogan, the long kick forward. The whistle on play will go the way of the Giants. Nick Madden was pushed by Aiden Corr, so the Giants will set up 80 out, just on the edge of the centre square. Out on that eastern wing. Madden kicks it to the hot spot. Flying Zerha, who's back and punching. Goes all the way outside 50 to Whitfield. He hands it back to Hogan, who's still outside 50. Has Madden. The play will start again. Nick Madden, take 2 towards Alir. Gets a push. And the umpire might blow it. Yes, he does. So Alir is really worrying Tristan Sherry. He takes him forward. And he gets the free kick. He'll kick on a 45-degree angle from 35 metres.
Interesting, both inside 50 kicks came from Nick Madden, who'd snuck onto the ground and waved to Aliir when the back half stoppage was happening. So they're trying to generate a changeover, and Aliir snuck forward and Cherries had to go with him, which means Madden's had uncontested entries inside 50 and not great organisation from North Melbourne defensively.
They got 2 cracks at it. The second one works. Nick Madden sends it in to a would-be ruck Aliir. Is this a purple patch for Aliir? He hadn't kicked a goal in 20-odd games. He pushes that one across the face. So a minor score, 7 apiece. We've played 10 minutes here, Sunday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
Well, the Saints didn't want the defender Aliir. They want maybe the ruck forward Aliir. Might be they come beyond the defensive 50 here, the Kangaroos, and it's marked by Spargo, who was a Giants Academy, wasn't he? Sato from Albury. Charlie Spargo, the former Demon. And he balks around Thomas on this commentary wing. Finds Sheasel unmarked. Needs some support. Flares his kick wide to the outer side. Trotting back Simpkin in space. They'll go forward of halfway again here, the Kangaroos. Simpkin on the entry again for his skipper, Larkey, who marks 50 out in the right forward pocket. So 1-1-7 apiece. 11 gone here in the opening term. And the relatively new North Melbourne skipper will take a set shot here from outside the arc. In fact, he won't. He goes back here and finds the milestone man Zerha. 150th game today, 60 from goal, sets it high and long inside 50. Up in front goes Himmelberg, down there Oliver, hand pass picked off, it comes to Sheasel. Now again the Kangaroos, McDonald, hand pass wide, Spargo again, draws the player, hand pass to Sheasel, kicks hurriedly, centering ball here for the Kangaroos, Curtis fighting for it, falls here for Wardlaw, who snaps and goals. And North have their second. 2-1-13 the Kangaroos. The Giants are 1-1-7. 12 gone to the opening term. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
Well, initially, Sato, I thought Larkey probably would have been worth having a shot from his position, although it wasn't a great spot. I think he's capable of kicking those, but keeping the ball alive for the Kangaroos. They've been great efficiency inside 50 so far this season, but I reckon there'd be a few Giants players, Sato, who would want their time again defensively in that play.
Yeah, absolutely. It became a bit of chaos, didn't it? I thought the same with you, with Larkey passing the ball back inside was an interesting option, but it did change up the angle a little bit and they got the ground ball. It was a lovely finish.
Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Just noticed North Melbourne ruck Tristan Jerry straight up the race after he came off for a breather on the bench. Doesn't look like anything untoward, but just probably worth watching there.
It'll mean Cooper Trembath in the middle, and he leaps over the top of Madden. Can't wait to see Trembath v Aliir, but for now, the tap won by North, but the clearance won by the Giants. Kick from Green was affected, so North pick it up. Loose footy won by Simpkin. Kicks up the line to the Lonnie boy McKerchup. Might be in Green in a couple of years, but for now, he's one of North's favourites. Kicks it to the hot spot, couple of leads, and the big fist from Connor Iden. That went 30 metres. Waiting there was Wardlaw, hands to Sheasel, then to McDonald. Gives it back to Daniel, edge of the 50, short kick, a clever one. Trembath got a push. The umpire says play on. Still up for grabs. Spargo doing the tough stuff. Hands it off. Comes wide to Sheasel. Right foot snap, and it is well wide of the goals. No score registered. Kangaroos leading. Played 13 minutes. They are 2-1-13. Giants 1-1-7.
It's a pretty loose open game at the moment, isn't it? Like I said, ball hits the ground, either the Giants or the Kangas have got free players. Depends which team's trying to move the ball forward.
Hayden goes to the outer side for Hogan. Happy to have your texts as well. 0437 774 774 as we do across the entire weekend. Hogan's kick out in space for Ash on the outer wing of Manuka Oval. Wheels and goes now. With room, calls the play to him, goes inside forward 50, 2-on-2 up in front. Parker spills it down there for Madden. He was dumped by Zerha. 40 out from the Giants attacking goal. We will ball things up.
Yeah, I think there's just both teams like to go quick in offensive transition, and so a lot of players in both sides getting caught, probably just anticipating offence a bit too early.
North by 6 points. In the contest, Madden against Jack Darling, who just thumps it back along the outer wing. Unkind bounce to Himmelberg. Sits up there for Larkey. He ducks the Himmelberg tackle. Called to play on now. Feeds off the hand pass wide. Back to Doverston. And he'll double back here for the Kangaroos and find Spargo on the outer side.
They had no one inside 50, so they do just have to stop and wait. They'd flooded back. Now they've got men up front. Spargo, low dart kick to Doverston. Marks just beyond the 50. Couple of metres in on that right forward flank. So he'll have to look for an option. Larkey matched up against Buckley. That is going to be a big one. Might decide the game. if Larky goes mad. So he kicks to a pack. Madden was there, spilt the mark. Curtis picked it up off the ground. His handball was back to Madden, who was tackled. And the umpire was happy enough that no opportunity was there. Ball up 35 metres out from the North goal, who lead by 6 points.
Up it goes. Madden fights with Darling. Bounced away from O'Halloran as Toby Green fights hard. She has it back now to Madden. Sends his hand pass wide. Onto it now, Gothard. Run down from behind by Spargo. Up against the boundary line for a throw in at right half forward for North Melbourne.
Sheasel with a hot start. 8 touches already.
15 gone in the first term across ABC Radio, digital radio, and indeed ABC Listen, ABC AFL. Third term underway at the Gabba, by the way, for the Lions and Crows. Darling goes back inside 50 here for the Kangaroos. Mopped up by Angwin of the Giants. Handball picked off by Simpkin. So now to Thomas tackle. Now Ash bursts by for the Giants off half-back.
And they're away. Here's the tsunami through the middle of Canberra. Forward handball to O'Halloran. Looks inside. Has Cornelio running past him. Halloran, they go wide. Callahan shifts it off. Inside 50 comes. It's not neat, but Cadman's there fighting against Pink. Fist comes. Goes to the front. Well done from Stringer, who picked it up. Little 1-2 to Gothard. The rising star nom this week for Phoenix Gothard. Angled kick from 30 metres out, but it was just near side. So a minor score. 2-1-13, 1-2-8. North lead by 5 points. We've played 16 minutes.
Daniel wastes no time finding Zerha on the kick out. Now Darling just behind the wing defensive side on the eastern side of Manuka Oval. Curtis out to meet the ball here. It comes off and over for a throw-in. Always a nice atmosphere here as well. Holds about 12 or 13,000 this ground, but they pack it for usually all 3 of their home games here, the Giants.
Officially a sellout today.
Always nice for the first game, and they usually have their Anzac Day or Anzac round game here as well. The Giants, Madden in the ruck against Darling. It was cleared there now for Tom Powell. Puts North back inside forward 50. Buckley in the contest with Larky. It falls to Trembath, who was run down from behind. Great work by Thomas. Loose ball mopped up down there by the Giants. Himmelberg fires the hand pass back to Buckley. It's a desperate hurried kick. Comes beyond defensive 50. Might land okay for Parker. Got a nudge in the air from Toby Green, who receives a hand pass, and the skipper's away for the Giants.
Toby Green would have liked that against Parker. They've had many Sydney battles, and it was a strong spoil. They kick it inboard to Madden. He just holds it up for too long. Great tackle from Daniels. And North are away. They get the free kick. Sheasel to Spargo. Rush kick inside 50 to Larky. 2-on-2. Fall in the back or a high tackle there. Might have been high contact on Larky. He will get the free kick. Slide angle. He'll shoot for goal from inside 40. And Nick Madden just a bit clumsy on the logo. Took too much time. Might cost his team a goal.
Yeah, I think he was hoping they were going to pay the mark, Maddo. Was right at his toes, and he may not have, but it looked like the time he took to take the ball and try and give it off, got caught holding the ball. And then just a bit of chaos ball going in again. North win a free kick.
Nick Larky takes a breath. 11 straight games, he's kicked a goal to make it a dozen. Fairly routine for a kicker of his quality. And just as quickly as it leaves the boot, he raises his right arm. So the Kangaroos 3-1-19, the Giants 1-2-8. It's 11-point lead. You're listening to ABC Sports Sunday Avo Footy, and your experts are Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
So it feels like the Giants, like they're winning enough ball in their back half, but they're just lacking organisation on transition. Like you see Toby Green in an excellent contest to help out against Luke Parker, and then he's got no one to kick to, which meant he had to go inside to Madden, which I know you'd have every confidence that wouldn't be in the planning for Giants. You don't want to be going inside to the tsunami and it's your ruckman turning up. So you give away turnovers in the middle of the ground, North Melbourne are going to score against you.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more kamikaze ball movement, isn't it? It's a lot of run and gun, handball, even some of their tsunami, it's just throwing the ball out and hoping that someone's turning up, whereas North, they've probably been a bit more methodical in their ball movement, although a little bit chaotic going inside 50.
19 going first term, North by 11 points on the Giants. The final game of round 7. A rolling maul towards the Giants attacking side where it's going to be a ball up. Oliver and Wardlaw in the contest. Now the rucks go at it. Aaliyah and Cherry down to Oliver. Pinball's away here, back for Callahan. O'Halloran, hurried kick inside 50. A little too deep for Daniels. Got the spoil from behind. McDonald, and now Bedford tries again to lock it in and does so successfully here for a ball up 45 out from the Giants attacking goal.
You sometimes wonder, don't you, being a key forward for the Giants, you're trying to make leads and another handball pops up and you're suddenly out of position.
About to hit time on here as O'Sullivan clears now for the Kangaroos off half-back. Himmelberg's there for the Giants. Laverde will send it wide. Here they go, the Giants through James Leake, and his kick goes onto the chest of Tristan Sherry at left half-back for North Melbourne.
He didn't leave that contest, Sherry, and was that extra man back. So took a mark, looks behind him, kicks to Toby Pink. He picks out a teammate. Oh, that is too risky. Angwin closes him down quickly. Half a turnover, although the ball's won by O'Sullivan. Handball back to Pink round the corner, and he does find a teammate this time. It is Jai Simpkin. Luke McDonald gets up slowly from that contest. Jai Simpkin looks inboard. Luke Parker's waiting there. He plays on, has to choose an option that he didn't really want. It was a handball to McDonald, who kicks towards 50. Sherry in best position, marks on the edge of the 50. Bit far for him. He has Dersma, or looks a little bit shorter to Doveston, and he takes that option. Doveston will kick for goal. Pretty tight angle, 45 metres out. Kangaroos leading by 11.
I love North's offence. They look so much more organised. They're hitting their targets. They've always got a free player. And if I'm sitting in the box and I'm Adam Kingsley right now, I'm starting to rev up a bit of a Cook on defensive transition. It's been relatively poor in this first quarter from the Giants.
Lockie Doveston, 4 games this year, a first-round draft pick. He's kicked a couple of goals, sends it towards the 2 big ones, but it just floats away. And it's a behind. 3-2-20, 1-2-8. The Kangaroos are up by 12. We've played 21 minutes here at Manuka on ABC Sport.
We get to your text at quarter time, 0437 774 774. Some good ones as well, by the way. Sort of across a broad range of things. Whitfield, played on, run down by Spargo. What was Whitfield thinking? He thought he had more time, and he certainly did not. So Charlie Spargo affects the tackle of a shot at goal here from right in that left forward pocket. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Yeah, briefly, Brett. Cooper Trembath has taken about 3 to 4 minutes to compose himself after he subbed off. The doctor and the trainer has been sitting with him. He was pointing at his lower abdomen and has taken some oral pain relief.
Here's Spargo, who snaps here, Adam, and he kicks the goal. North are hot in the opening term here in Canberra. 4-2-26. The Giants are 1-2-8. 22 gone to the opening term. Sorry, as you were, Adam Shirley.
Not at all. I'm done. Just taking some oral pain relief or something to settle his stomach by the looks of it.
I never Cooper Trembath. He would have been at maybe a nervous stomach last year as well. Debuted here, kicked 3 goals, 1. He was very impressive on debut when they last met, these two sides, but North even more impressive this time around.
Well, you mentioned Lockie Whitfield. What was he thinking? I think he was overthinking was the problem. I mean, he had the long option, which it looked like he was going to take down the line, and then he's tried to create or hope something was going to pop up different. And I mean, Charlie Spargo, that's great pressure. That's what they brought him in for, and he's done a terrific job there. But I mean, from a senior player, Lockie Whitfield, you do expect them not to make such poor decisions or non-decisions as he made.
He's done it a million times, that same play, and never made a mistake like that.
Tristan Sherry via Lear, whistle on play. He's going to go the way of Sherry. So Lear just bails to the back line. In fact, it's going to go to Luke Davies-Uniacke, and he'll play on quickly.
The pressure's
finds
on the
O'Sullivan.
Pressure's on.
They play on quickly. Caleb Daniel uses it very well. Goes inside, and Tom Powell drops the mark. Whitfield infringed. It's a free kick for chopping of the arm. The service was pretty good. Powell couldn't mark it. Maybe he couldn't mark it because he was infringed. So Whitfield annoyed. He's had a couple of minutes he would love to forget, and North will kick for goal. It'll be Powell from 45 metres slide angle.
I'd be pretty annoyed if I was him too. Caleb Daniels having a field day off half-back. He's had 5 touches, and I would suggest at least half of those are score involvements.
Tom Powell ambles in. They've won 5 out of 6 quarters this year. First quarters, North Melbourne. They're having a hot start today. It'll be a minor score out to the right. Just adds a point. 27 plays 8. 24 minutes into this first quarter. Some alarm bells for Adam Kingsley. North on top early, and Whitfield gets another crack. So let's see what he does here.
Well, there's no player nearby at least this time. So they're setting up deep here on the Whitfield kick out. He goes short to find Connor Iden, one of their new vice captains this year for the Giants. Dummies a hand pass and now plays on does London-born Geelong-raised Connor Iden. Up goes Hogan on the wing. Can't pull in the grab. Through the legs of O'Halloran. Fights the tackle there of Sheasel. Ball comes loose. A hand pass back to Alir. And now Angwin mops up. Just taps it back now for Leake. Snaps over his body here for Bedford, who marks. Just went the required 15. And Bedford marks on the members' wing of Manuka Oval. North by 19 points. Tom on in the first term. Kick a little deep down there for Cadman. Going inside 50. O'Halloran does find Hogan. And he takes the chest mark, 45 out directly in front.
It was a good hit in the end, but they probably got lucky a little bit, the Giants. North's pressure down here at half-back for the Giants was excellent, and it was just a throw on the boot kick that happened to land to Toby Bedford, which got him the ability to sort of take some time and get their set up into the forward half, but they did get out of jail on that one.
That was a kick from James Leake. Just his second game for the new campaign. Here is Jesse Hogan, of course, who was a late out in the derby last week with a corky who kicked from 47 out. That's a beautiful looking set shot, as he so often does possess. And the Giants close the gap here late in the opening quarter at Manuka Oval in Canberra. 4-3-27 the Kangaroos. GWS at 2-2-14. 25 gone in the opening term. Your experts are Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
I think to your point as well, Sado, it looks like North Melbourne have prepared really well for that, what you've described as the tsunami and the handball chain going through the middle that the Giants want. And I think that's where they've scored on transition. North Melbourne is they're really well structured for that handball turnover. And so you just wonder, do the Giants look at changing something at quarter time? I know that's their game style, but if it's not working for them and they need to play more of a kick mark game, it'd be interesting to see what changes in the second quarter. Yeah,
I think what they tend to do is try and double down on the tsunami.
Do well what you do well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing momentum in footy, isn't it? You know, Powell misses that shot. If North, go out to a 4-goal lead, instead the Giants get a little bit lucky and get a shot on goal and kick it.
Hadn't got the tap, but Sherry sharked it. Gives it off to LDU. He took way too long, and then he had to have a panic bounce, and Clayton Oliver was there to wrap him up. It was almost like your first bounce in league footy. He put it to the ground. Free kick to the Giants as he spilled the footy. They handball forward. It's a bit chaotic, but it's going to work through Daniels eventually. They swing it wide to the wing. Kick it forward. Stringer was being manhandled, and he gets the free kick just beyond 50. Core was a bit excited. Hayden Core, 8 seasons with the Giants, nearly 100 games. Been in North now for 4. Stringer, he's a relatively new Giant, kicks it inboards, too deep for Hogan, and best to read it was Griffin Logue, who, well, if Hogan did get that goal, you'd almost give the points to Logue early days. So North do well, and they kick it wide.
He's a little bit frustrated with that kick, Jesse Hogan. I think he let Jesse Stringer know about it.
Logue to Core, and now O'Sullivan has it for North Melbourne, still inside defensive 50, as marked by Luke Davies-Uniacke, the best and fairest from 2 years ago. Had it 26 times against the Tigers last week. Davies-Uniacke. We'll get to Adam Shirley very shortly as this kick goes out of bounds on the full. So it's a Giants ball just forward to the wing. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Running repairs to Leclerc on the Giants bench. Just to his right lower leg. Looks to have opened up a cut of some kind. The old Vaseline from the boxers' corner has come out.
Harvey Thomas brings it back into play here for the Giants. High inside 50. Up in front, Hogan. Not paid the mark. Mopped up by Logue again. Powell. And then bursting by O'Sullivan. Has room to bounce here for the Kangaroos. Goes down the corridor off half back. A little too wide now for Curtis. It goes on the bounce to Laverde. Off to Ash now for the Giants. Escapes the tackle of Curtis. Goes back inside 50 for the home side. Hogan leads up and this time takes the grab. Well, the Giants finding their way back in the contest via a couple of Jesse Hogan looks. Here's his second one in quick succession. Meanwhile, Cadman's hit the deck, so we've got a shove in there from Luke Parker, I fancy.
Cadman went straight to Logue to let him know about it. Logue just threw him to the ground.
Okay, so meantime, Jesse Hogan will line up this set shot from 35 out directly in front.
Giants backs while that's happening, all getting around Jaden Laverde. Great ground ball win. Change the tide and allow Lockie Ash to deliver a beautiful kick inside 50.
So Jesse Hogan kicked the most recent goal in the game to cut North's lead back to 13 points. Here he is for a couple of goals in quick succession. This one looks slightly off. It just sneaks through. Hogan's got 2 in the first quarter. As we approach the first change, it's North Melbourne 4-3-27. The Giants are 3-2-20. 28.5 played here in the opening term in the final game of round 7. Meanwhile, at the Gabba, late in the third term there, Brisbane 14-8-92 leads Adelaide 7-5-47.
I don't know if it's your textbook drop punt from Jesse Hogan. It still had the bit of the right spin, but looked like it came off not the knee part of the foot anyway, but it went through. I was about to comment on North Melbourne's look really comfortable coming out of the back half. And they looked like they were about inside 50 again, but just the turnover, miss kick through the middle, and it was Jaden Laverde that was able to read it, come forward and pick up that ground ball to get to Lockie Ash. But North generally have looked okay coming out of the back half, lack of pressure from the Giants, but they get one on the rebound.
Finn Callaghan, he's been quiet of late. He gets half a clearance. It's going defensive side, though. So Powell runs off half forward for North Melbourne, picks it up. Handball's back. Sheasel, then Stevens, who will kick it long. Zurhar is there, standing next to him. James Leake. Great contested mark. Saves a would-be goal for the Giants, and they move it out of D50 through Iden.
As we approach the half-hour mark here in Canberra, they go beyond defensive 50. Marked out there by Cornelio. Lays it off by hand to Thomas running by. Time for one more here for the Giants. Daniels marks. The siren already went. So this would have been a shot for goal. Alas, the siren did sound before that ball reached the breadbasket there of Brent Daniels. So it is North Melbourne's turn. 4-3-27. The Giants 3-2-20 in the opening quarter here at Manuka Oval. All singles for North to Larkey, Curtis, Wardlaw and Spargo in that first quarter. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the first goal was to Lekalia. That was of the game. North then kicked 4 of the first 5 goals in the game. And then from that point onwards, and then Jesse Hogan has kicked the most recent 2. North by 7 points here in the capital. Keep your texts coming. 0437 774 774 across ABC Radio and ABC Listen. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Why do we collect things? And how much is too much? Join me, Annabelle Crabb, as I venture into the secret stacks of the State Library of New South Wales and discover that most of the collection isn't books at all. Search for the History or Hoarding podcast on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
The Giants moving into the centre. Kick was affected. Lekalia, big lead. Marks just to the left of the centre circle. And we might have a 50-metre. Lekalia is going to have a shot for goal. He didn't have a goal as up until last week. And now he lines up from directly in front. 2 in 2 games for Lekalia. And he kicks the first for the Giants.
Comes back here now for Sheasel with the glove on his left hand. Goes inside forward 50, wanting to sit down there. Not quite there for Tremba, who debuted here last year for North. And now whistle on play. It will be a free kick going North's way. And Curtis, I think, was taken high. And he tries to kick from 40. Straightens up okay, and through it goes. North get the response. Hand pass wide, Spargo again, draws the player, hand pass to Sheasel, kicks hurriedly, centering ball here for the Kangaroos, Curtis fighting for it, falls here for Wardlaw, who snaps and goals. And North have their second. Field, played on, run down by Spargo. What was Whitfield thinking? He thought he had more time, and he certainly did not. Here's Spargo, who snaps here. He kicks the goal. North are hot in the opening term here in Canberra. Going inside 50, O'Halloran does find Hogan. And takes the chest mark, 45 out directly in front. Kick from 47 out. That's a beautiful looking set shot, as he so often does. Goes back inside 50 for the home side. Hogan leads up and this time takes the grab. Well, the Giants finding their way back in the contest by a couple of Jesse Hogan looks. This one looks slightly off, but just sneaks through. Hogan's got 2 in the first quarter.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
North Melbourne by 7 points in the final game of round 7 Anzac Appeal round across this weekend. We are here at Manuka Oval in Canberra. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Declan Byrne. Adam Shirley's on the boundary, and your experts are Jason Saints and Lauren Arnell. Your text welcome 0437 774 774.
You tease some goodies, Spriggy.
I'll save some for half time because they're more conversational.
Okay.
They're more conversational. ABC AFL. Great to hear Lauren as part of the top call as usual. Lest we forget, go Giants. Grant from Waterloo sharing with us the VFL score. The Giants beat the Kangaroos by, what's that? That's 63 points in a pretty high scoring game. And we did learn during that both Blamires and Pink were held over for North Melbourne, so we knew there was a late change potentially coming. That's why Charlie Comben out with illness and Toby Pink is in here for North Melbourne. G'day team, Phil in Victoria. I did a double take, didn't realise North aiming for a top 4, finally achieving after a hard climb. Yeah, I mentioned first time in 10 years, if they win today or tonight, they'll be in the top 4 at this, I guess, later point of a season, not just after round 1, for example. First time since 2016 when they won their first 9 games. Anne-Marie from Dandenong asks, if you commentators kick a goal, what would be your goal song?
Oh, wow.
Can we come back at half time?
Notice?
Yeah.
Why didn't you save that one for half time? That's
well. Just giving you guys some notice as well. 0437774774. Let's talk footy. Jason Saddington, Lauren Arnell, your thoughts on the opening quarter here in Canberra?
Well, it was probably a quarter where North Melbourne probably should have capitalised more, I think, on that quarter, Lauren, and I know you'll touch on a couple of things. There was a period for me, Tom Powell had a set shot, reasonably easy, but missed it. That would have put North up 5-1, which probably would have outlined where the quarter was at that point in time. Instead, missed. Giants on the rebound, kick in, get it back to 4-2. Momentum changed a little bit, and the Giants have managed to hang in here in a quarter where they didn't play great footy at all. And I know you're a little bit disappointed with their defensive efforts at times. North looked really composed with the ball as well. Not the cleanest going inside 50, but certainly using out of the back half. Interesting that it's only a 7-point ball game, because I feel like North potentially should have been further up.
Yeah, I think they've wasted an opportunity. The Giants started really slow, particularly on that defensive transition, and having retired only, let's call it 5 years ago, you get days of weather like this, you get a ground in this good a nick, and it might be tempting to have a white collar day. And you're thinking about how many touches could I get if I'm a mid-forward. Might be a few goals in it today, and I reckon you'd just be challenging, particularly if you're Adam Kingsley. Roll up your sleeves, boys, get your hands little bit more dirty in this second quarter, challenge them all to lay a couple of tackles each, and you suddenly, I reckon that they're significantly better than North Melbourne, because they're really only just hanging on in that quarter. North dominated them for all but the last few minutes, and it's only a 7-point difference.
And that's a big part, isn't it? When you look at the Giants with the players that they brought into, like Brent Daniels, up forward, even they've got Bedford, Thomas, those types. Their role is to put pressure on, and that hasn't happened in that front part of the ground. North it's been pretty easy for them to get the ball through, and even down back. I mean, the defenders. When the balls hit the ground, we've seen North kick a couple of goals off loose ball. And I think you're right. The fact that the Giants have hung in there to be only 7 points down is probably a win for them, in terms of they haven't got their defensive side of the game going. And even offensively, they've tried to run and gun and get the tsunami going. It hasn't been the prettiest, but you can still see when it's working, they're able to get the ball in. And Jesse Hogan obviously is the big in.
Straighten them up.
Yeah, it straightens them up, and a couple of strong contested marks. That's been a big difference for them as well. But big quarter coming up here, looking forward to it.
So they've been playing catch-up in games all year, the Giants, so far. Just the 2 wins and 4 losses. Alair wins the hit out here, and it's wrapped up in the middle with a tackle on Wardlaw from Bedford. The umpire will ball it up. And the twilight conditions here at Manuka Oval. Sherry takes it out of the ruck. Hurried kick to half forward. Marked there by Dersma. Marks on the front edge of the square. North leading by 7 points. Quarter time. Dersma goes inside 50. Diving grab taken down there by Larkey. Sprawling forward in the right forward pocket, or left forward pocket as it was, and he'll take his set shot here from about 25 out.
Dersma would be pretty pleased with that highlight reel, outmarking Himmelberg, with Himmelberg not even attempting to spoil, and then hitting Lace out on the lead with Larkey. And I think that's the only way Larkey's going to beat Buckley. Buckley's beaten him in the air a couple of times today, and Larkey on a lead, Buckley hasn't been able to go with him.
As Declan Byrne mentioned, goals in every game so far, including 10 in the first 2 games of this season. Lining up here for his second of the afternoon, Nick Larkey. He trots in, the Kangaroos skipper, and he makes no mistake there. A couple of goals for big Subalaki. 5-3-33 North Melbourne. Adam Kingsley looks ropeable already on the big screen. The Giants are 3-2-20 inside the opening minute of this second term on ABC Sport.
Declan, can you see where the runner's going? Oh, I reckon it's Himmelberg.
It has to be.
Himmelberg looked, he just sort of shoved, didn't he?
Trying to mark from behind. Yeah. It was just way too easy. The other thing, Larkey, it was unbelievable bodywork right at the last minute. On a lead, he's running flat stick. It's a great kick from Dersma. Buckley's right on his hammer, but he's just able to get a little nudge in and push Buckley a bit further off the ball. whilst running flat stick. I mean, that's some fantastic bodywork as a key forward on the lead.
You can see Lecolier's right leg taped just in the shadows of quarter time. Sherry buried him into the ground. That was when Adam Shirley told you that Lecolier came off. So he might be beaten in the air, Sherry, but he won't be beaten on the ground, maybe affecting Alir's tap work. It goes the way of Sherry. He kicks it forward in a hurry. It's marked by Lockie Ash. Looks to his right, wants to find Himmelberg, who needs to get a touch. He needs to cleanse the spirits after that goal given away. A couple of handballs are a bit messy. Comes back to Himmelberg, who spills it in the middle of the ground. Underground one from Sherry. Comes to Finn O'Sullivan, who looks to his left. Dishes off to Curtis, and he kicks it out towards half-forward flank. It's marked a long way from goal by Larkey, who's got 2 already, which takes him to 297 in his career. Kicks into the pocket. Oh, and the lead was good from Darling. He lost his defender, and he takes it with 3 metres.
The Giants trying to get out of the back half, they were just trying to make stuff up.
Forcing it.
Things that weren't on, they're trying to generate handballs and run that aren't there. And it's easy for North. If your pressure's good enough, which it was, you're going to create the turnover. There's just a complete lack of coherence or belief in what they're doing. They're just trying to make stuff up on the spot at the moment, the Giants.
Jack Darling will approach from left half-forward flank. Kicks for goal and hooks it all the way out of bounds. Let's head down to the boundary. Adam Shirley.
Yeah, Declan, following up on your comment on Leclerc with that bandaged lower right leg, he is short of a gallop. As he's trying to move with Tristan Xerri, he's just favouring that left leg and I think struggling to get into full gear.
Well, for the Giants. Moves it on by foot here to Himmelberg. Lays off the hand pass to Ash. Shows some good dash. He's run down from behind though by Curtis. Lost the ball. Curtis with a free kick here just forward of the wing. So pressure acts everywhere you look for North Melbourne, who lead by 13 points early stages second quarter. Kick goes wide here to find McKercher.
Absolutely love that from Paul Curtis, that chase out of his front half. But if you string a Cadman or Hogan, you're absolutely filthy. You're not getting a look at the footy.
Yep.
Goes here a little too deep for Wardlaw. The Giants rebound the footy through Toby Green. Tries to find Cadman. Spoiled down there by Kerr, only as far as his former teammate Whitfield. Now Ash gets it back to Whitfield. Loose man there, Cadman almost spills it. He balks his way clear of McKercher. Kicks inside 50 here for the Giants. And Hogan again puts himself in the hot spot. Drops some contact as well as he came in there on Logue to mark that footy. And he's a little sort of slow getting up and clutching his midriff, Jesse Hogan.
Yeah, it looked like he copped it around the hip, didn't he? As Logue was going back, it was all innocent. That was Cadman's first touch, by the way, of the game. It was a good inside 50.
Who's had Oliver, by the way? And he's been very quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Graham from Carnup asked off the text. Well, I did see him with Davies Uniac.
I think he's getting beaten with his work rate, to be fair.
Yeah, he's not really being tagged at the moment, Clayton Oliver.
Too harsh?
No, that was a very polite way to put it, I think.
Jesse Hogan, 2 goals so far. And lining up here, that started approach to the pool end of Manuka Oval. He flares this well wide. It's come off the side of the boot. Falls there for Gothard, who slams it through. Well, right place, right time. Gothard with the crumbs and the finish. It was a very ugly kick from Jesse Hogan. But Gothard mopped up at full forward and bangs through the goal here for the Giants, who again stay within touching distance. 4-2-26, the home side. North Melbourne at 5-3-33. We've played now 5.5 minutes in this second quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Oh, it's a nice finish. Gothard just turned up in the right spot as a small forward should. His confidence has grown week by week. He obviously got the debut game at the start of the year and kicked the winning goal against the Hawks. He was a rising star last week. He's just playing his craft as a small forward, turning up where you need to and kicking goals. And that's a lovely little finish, opportunistic. That's what you want from your first round draft pick from a few years ago. He's had injuries, but now he's out in the park playing some good footy.
Top tackler of the year as well for the Giants. He's doing a lot of them in the forward half. Gothard rewarded with a goal. We're back in the middle. There's a nice tap for Toby Green. Swings it around his body. Waiting is Brent Daniels. I mean, he'd be outmarked, but he was against Caleb Daniel. So he takes the mark, turns to Cadman, who used his body so well, shielding Pink and had his arms outstretched. Takes the mark. Will shoot for goal from 40 on the 45-degree angle to get it to 1 point.
So this is the fascinating thing for me for the Giants. Stop messing around with the footy. Once you get in the front half, you've got Hogan taking contested marks. Cadman's just taken one. Get the ball inside 50 to your key targets. You're going to take grabs. You're going to get shots on goal.
That cheer you can hear from the Canberra crowd applauding Jesse Hogan, who is keeping the Giants in it. Cadman gets involved here, though. A goal to their leading goal kicker of 2025. He is on the board tonight. And we have a 1-point ball game. 7 minutes into the second quarter. 5-3-33 to 5-2-32. The Kangaroos lead by a point. Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
Well, without Lockie Ash and Jesse Hogan out there, there'd been a fair bit of strife for the Giants, but there's an absolute argument for just kick the ball, please. Like, the North have very clearly prepared for a high handball game from GWS, and they've defended it exceptionally well. And when Giants play fast by foot, North can't defend them. So I think the more of that, the better, and I just hope that's the message they're getting. And Cadman's had some real influence early in this second quarter as well, and we mentioned he's been starved of the footy. If he can link up through higher up the ground, you know he's going to put the ball to foot.
Voice of Premiership winner Lauren Arnell with us on ABC Sport. Meanwhile, at the Gabba, Loz's old club, one of our old clubs, Brisbane, leads Adelaide by 62 points. Early stages, final term there. North by a point here in Canberra. As it's balled up again, Madden and Sherry, clean tap down to Toby Green, through a tackle, hand pass to Daniels, loose man Himmelberg. One of their Canberrans dribbles it inside 50. It hits Stringer on the chest here, it bounces wide here back for Hannaford. Now back to Stringer, who can snap from 45, unguarded square. Stevens just gets back there and marks at fullback for North Melbourne, who lead by a point in this early stage of the second quarter. And Sheasel has it now on that far side.
Finger surgery during the week, Harry Sheasel, while he's wearing the glove. 11 touches for him. He's leading all comers. Kicks long down the line. It's touched over the boundary line on the attacking side of halfway for the Giants, who trail by a point. Are you happy with your tip change, Loz? You went from North to the Giants.
Feeling a lot better about it right in this point in time, thank you.
All spun back in as the sun sets here on the round and at Manuka. Clayton Oliver thought he had a possession there, but it was dispossessed. It falls on the ground. Simpkin, he missed an opportunity. Angwin picks it up on his left boot, kicks it high. This will take a huge mark. Zerha goes for the spoil instead, waiting at the front. The crumb from Hannaford kicks on goal. It is well wide. That is out on the full. He had time and space. Couldn't find the big sticks, and Toby Pink will bring it back in. Score remains 33-32. Kangas lead.
The reason you change your tips the right way, though, Loz, I think we identify it's the key forwards to the Giants might be the difference.
Zerha was outnumbered through the air and it spills out of bounds for a throw-in.
Appreciate the pump up. It's still early, isn't it? But we can be optimistic.
I'm going to carry it through.
You didn't change your tip from Brisbane to Adelaide, who the Lions now lead by 63 points at the Gabba. A much-needed win for them, Chris Fagan's men. 10 go on second term here in Canberra. Cherry put it down there in the path of Stevens. Knocked away by Halloran for the Giants. Daniel there now for North. Back to Wardlaw from right half back. Kicks long down the members' wing. Iden back with it. Spotted his own teammate there in Buckley. Darling tries to paddle it to advantage. Iden does so now for GWS. Thomas spins into the Larkey tackle. Ball goes with him. Iden mops up here. Shares it now with Leake. And now Oliver back to Iden. The chain of hand pass ends up with Lockie Ash.
He's just behind the centre circle. Incisive right boot. Finds the lead of Cadman, who turns on his left. It's fluid play, leading out his Stringer, falls in front of it, picks it up, breaks one tackle, breaks a second, on his right, Jakey Stringer, that is vintage. The pickup, the double tackle break, and he turned and there was only one thing that was going to happen. Jake Stringer goals. He gives the Giants the lead for the first time since the second minute. 6-2-38, 5-3-33. Giants up by 5. Sunday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport.
That is Western Bulldogs Jake Stringer there, isn't it? Breaking tackles, and it's a very, very nice finish. And if you Cam Zerha, he's the last bloke to turn up and try and apply pressure, but things aren't as easy against the Giants in Canberra as they were last week against Richmond at Marvel Stadium.
Just some easy ball coming off half back at the moment too for the Giants, isn't it? They're able to rebound pretty quickly. Getting that ball into that front 50. That's incredible, Stringer. I didn't even know he broke that first tackle.
You're just waiting for the umpire to call something, but Lockie Ash, 11 disposals, 310 metres gained.
That was a great hit through the middle too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Giants by 5 points, as Declan Byrne mentioned, since the early stage of the game. Umpire spotted the free kick here, which will go the Giants' way from that centre ball up resumption. And their skipper, Toby Green. Record-breaking game for him today. Long down the pipe. Spoil from Pink there on Cadman. Ricochets to Dylan Stevens. Breaks a tackle back to Toby Pink. And now Parker. He sends his kick wide for Simpkin. Was it paid? No. It was wrapped up by Thomas. Umpire said, no, we'll ball it up, acknowledging he didn't actually hear. Oh, touched it was, yeah, but he acknowledged that he didn't actually hear the call. So he'll ball it up there at left full forward for GWS. They find themselves in front here on the Kangaroos. Stringer busts with the pack again. Shares it with Angwin. He drops it. Zerhard tries off the deck here for North Melbourne. Angwin fights for traffic again. Snaps on goal. Hits the post. That's what the Giants do well. Just extract goals out of nothing. 6-3, 39. 5-3, 33. Giants by 6 points.
Positive from Caleb Daniel, who wasted no time. He grabbed a footy, cleared 50. Powell marks, put Stevens under some pressure with the handball, and then his kick came back to him and he turns it over. So they're in trouble here, the Kangaroos. It's a 3-goal-to-1 quarter already. Cornelio has the footy, still in the centre square. Long kick to the 1-on-1, but Zerha makes it a 2-on-1. Lucky because Cadman had the sit and the position. A spoil through, 7-point ball game. Giants 40, Kangaroos 33.
So let's go a little bit slower for a minute, North. I mean, that play from Daniel to go quick wasn't the right option at this point in time. They need to take the momentum out of the game for a little bit, North.
Kangaroos go long back to the members' wing. Darling in the 2-on-1, who was outnumbered. Falls at Buckley, and now Finn Callahan for the Giants. Off to Toby Green, sends them inside 50. Running start down there from Cadman, but the spoil there was effective from Core. And now Parker, hand pass over his head. Back to Simpkin. And he gets away from Angwin. Back to Caleb Daniel, who was celebrating with his former Bulldogs teammates alongside Jake Stringer back on Thursday night at the 10-year reunion. Hand pass away here for the Giants. It falls to Angwin, who's dumped in the tackle. 60 from attacking goal here at the pool end of Manuka Oval, with the Giants lead by 7 points, 13 go on second term.
Momentum-wise, 43 touches to the Giants to 29 in this second quarter alone. Like you said, Sato, North just need to find the footy.
Ball comes out of the contest just beyond 50 for the Giants. It rattles around a couple of times. Angwin ends up with it to Leak. Back to Finn Callahan. On his left foot, waiting in the hole was Zerha. Spilt the mark under pressure. Coming through was Hannaford. And Zerha will get the free kick.
They just need a chain of possessions here, North.
Saddington asking for them to slow it down. He looks to his right to Luke McDonald. Does just that. Game 2-2-5 today for McDonald. He draws level with Andrew Swallow and John Blakey for North Melbourne. Kick down the line. Nick Madden a 1-on-1 with Darling. Nice spoil from Madden into the interchange.
And that's a win for North as well. At least you get a stoppage up on the wing. They haven't been able to get too far past this point. The Giants been able to repel, send it straight back inside 50. So it's a chance for them to set up North, hopefully get their hands on the footy and maybe go forward.
Giants by 7. Back in it comes. St Miss, Madden and Darling. Powell was bundled to the deck there by the Harvey Thomas tackle, and the umpire will say, let's ball it up. A full crowd in here. Sell out at Manuka. The first of the Giants' 3 games here this year, as per usual. Loose ball pounced on by Davies Uniacke for the Kangaroos. Goes inside 50. At the back, Larkey. Breaks the league tackle, and this tumbles toward the goal line. Finished off down there by Doverston. Well, it wasn't going to let it just bounce through. It wouldn't have quite got there. So Doverston raced onto it and voided it out of the air to kick the goal for North Melbourne. And they will close it to back to a 1-point lead. So it's 6-3, 39 North Melbourne. They trail the Giants to a 6-4, 40. 15 and a half played in the second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, exactly what they needed. They just got the ball from stoppage, got it inside 50 and capitalise. You know, they've been under the pump for a long time. It's amazing just what you need sometimes. Just take that, I guess, pressure release, get out of the back half and get a bit of a stop play and get the ball forward. Certainly worked in their favour at that point. And Doverston, he's only had the 4 touches, but he's been influential in that front half. He's found a bit of space.
Sherry v. Madden, they run into each other, so the ball just lands at their feet. Toby Green first there to Finn Callahan, has Angwin behind him. Handball off to Angwin. Long kick from Angwin inside 50. Big pack of players. Spoil came and hit the deck. Harvey Thomas, Quirk first to react and on his left foot. And he just pulls it a little bit. 41 plays 39. Giants up by 2. 16 minutes of time elapsed in this second term.
So it does come back in from the kick out. Thomas pounced on his opponent down there in Luke Parker. He'll hand it back to umpire Nick Foote. I think everyone knows the name of by now. After the last couple of weeks, Giants by 2 points. Sherry Funnels it away here for Davies Uniacke, and now Spargo clears the area. Back to the members' side. Dersma, strong contested grab there up against Ash. You coached the Dersma, didn't you, Loz?
Yeah, I did. I actually had Yasmin before the last two Dersmans were drafted. So
she's number 2, isn't she, in line?
She was.
Yep.
Yeah, Xavier was at Port Adelaide early days when I was.
Yep.
On the outer side here, the Kangaroos shifted across. Daniel finds O'Sullivan, comes back inboard now to find Toby Pink. The late in for Charlie Combin. Will come back wide now. McDonald on this members' side of Manuka Oval. Giants by 2 points. 17 going here in the second quarter. And here is Declan Byrne.
Toby Pink is on the bullseye. Everyone on the ground is in front of him. It's a kick and hope inside 50. It'll take a super leap. Trembath, he's known for it. The umpire blows the whistle for a mark. I thought it might have been a free kick. He was pushed. Lockie Ash gets it. Kicks it in front of Clayton Oliver, who's made to work for it. Parker v. Oliver. Parker first there, and he's got numbers too. Handball to LDU, then to Spargo. Back to Parker. 1, 2, 3. Back to Parker. He's tackled by Harvey Thomas. Arm pinned. Gets the kick away somehow. It falls in the lap of Spargo, who just as quickly as he got it was buried into the turf by Callaghan. And we'll have a ball up.
That's the defensive play from the Giants that we haven't seen in that first quarter, and now they're turning up. They're wanting the contest.
GWS by 2 here at Manuka. Off the deck, the North Melbourne, it comes to Spargo. Handball nowhere though. Did miss Daniels and Sheasel. Pounced on by Curtis. Bust the tackle of Whitfield. Comes back here to McDonald. Straightens up from 55. Sends it deep here towards the contest. Trembath marks it over the behind line, I reckon.
I reckon he's got that.
Oh, I reckon the umpire's going to look at this, but it will be soft call behind, would be my reckoning.
I think so. And while we're waiting, Sad, I'm really keen to ask you about Nick Madden. You would have seen a heap more footy from him than I have, but I think he's been quite impressive, particularly his aerial work so far today.
Yeah, he's always been a really good footballer. His skill set's very, very good for a big man. He marks the ball well, he kicks it well, he's got good hands. He's always been a player, even as a young fella, that would get a lot of possessions in a game of footy.
Soft call was marked, by the way. Sorry, play on.
And he's been able to translate. He's had to wait. He's had to develop in the VFL for a few years, but now he's grabbing his chance and he's looked really comfortable at the level.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Yep.
Mark.
They've paid the mark. So that was the on-field call after all on that behind line at the Cathedral end of Manuka Oval. So Cooper Trembath will go back here and take a set shot from the tightest of angles. Deep at right full forward for North Melbourne. In fact, the umpires also swung around even finer as well.
He's parallel with the goals.
Pretty much.
Almost over the picket fence.
3 goals here on debut last year. Cooper Trembath opens up the angle, left foot, snap, and he hits the post. It's a 1 point game the Giants' way. 6-5 plays 6-4. As we're about to hit time on here in the second quarter at Manuka Oval. You're with Brett Sprigg, Declan Byrne, Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
Lockie Ash, leading possession getter for the Giants. He'll get another one here, and they start the old school under-12s. Everyone in the middle at the top of the 50 and spread. Lockie Ash finds Whitfield. Lockie to Lockie, spoiled, so he has to play on. Has Callaghan running behind him. The birthday boy goes for it. Ash has a bounce. Looks for an option in the middle. It's going to bounce to Whitfield, who has a man in board. Pressure applied, but hands are good to Oliver. Then back to Ash, to Leak in front of him. Dersma applies the tackle. Ball comes backwards, still the way of the Giants. Mightn't be clean, but it is effective, and the inside 50 goes on the lap of Aaron Cadman. They kept handballing it, somehow willing it forward, and Cadman hits it on his chest. Quickly down to the boundary, Adam.
Leclerc continuing to struggle with that right lower leg injury, and it looks like it's a bit of a chunk out of that lower leg because they've had to redress it.
A chunk?
Take all the different padding off and then reapply it again. He's just wincing every time they apply further padding to it.
Oh. Gory details from Adam Shirley. Aaron Cadman, the number 1 draft pick for his second goal of the quarter. It's just out to the left. So the lead extended by a solitary point. Giants up by 2. We're into time on. Second quarter. ABC Sports Sunday Arvo Footy. Here's Brett Sprigg.
What do you make of Luke Parker's defensive role, Jason Saddington, in recent weeks?
Yeah, no, it's winning. 100% winning.
The Kangaroos 4 wins from their first 6 games. Looking to go into the top 4 this afternoon. And as the intercept mark is taken by Buckley of the Giants. His old man played for North Melbourne, of course, Ben. Goes inside 50. And Gothard up in front of Daniel. There was an even matchup if there ever was one. Spargo's hand pass to Logue, and now Core goes back here. And they'll work it wide for McDonald back to Tristan Sherry at right half back for North Melbourne. 6-6 plays 6-4 here in Canberra. The final game of round 7. Tristan Sherry in his first game back since the blood smearing incident and his suspension. Up high goes Trembath and Callaghan. Out the drop though, loose ball pounced on. Himmelberg overran the ball in the end. Iden comes through now for the Giants. He was brought to ground as well. Gathered now, it comes to Spargo. He's spun a full 360 by Ash and the ball jar's free. Leake fires the hand pass back to Oliver, who's been quiet so far for GWS. And now Himmelberg back to Whitfield. And he spears the pass low there for Halloran, who has paid the mark on the members' side.
It wouldn't have gone more than 2 foot off the ground from Whitfield to Halloran, who looks inboard. The dangerous kick into the centre. It opens up the whole ground with Ash marking. He's having a heck of a game. Lockie Ash looks to his right, though, plays it safe. Cornelio marks and then plays on. Gets right round Stevens with ease. Kick inside 50, and Cadman leapt. Spilt it. Hits the deck. 3 pile on. Sheasel was at the bottom of the pack. Lecalier tackled him. We'll have a ball up 35 metres out from the Giants' goal. They lead by 2. Cadman having a hot second quarter. Nearly had another shot on goal. Umpire Foot throws it up. Sherry with the fist out wide. Set play to Simpkin, who picks it up. No, he drops it. He tried to paddle it with the pressure from Green. Paddled it all the way out of bounds beyond the 50. We'll have a throw in with the Giants still up by 2, having 23 minutes elapsed in the second quarter.
So the Lockie Ash influence is huge. He's getting a lot of ball through that half back, mid part of the ground. 15 touches, 430 metres. You think about putting a stopper on him, do you?
That's a whole game's worth of metres gained now for most people.
You think about a defensive player on him, I reckon, take his influence out.
Finn Callahan's entry goes too wide for Hogan and for Griffin Logue in defence. McDonald traps it there in front of the boundary line for North. Back to Stevens, who spins clear of Cornelio, who was far too quick for the Giants veteran, and now sends his kick down the line to McKercher, the Tasmanian. Back wide to Stevens by hand, who kept running. Floats it further on a field here towards Spargo. Has plenty of space to move now. Handballs back to O'Sullivan. Keeps it moving here again to Larkey. 55 from goal. He's got Darling down there all by himself. He marks it full forward. No, he doesn't. Coming in late was James Leake. His Darling paid a free kick. It's going to be a behind this time. It was deemed a behind. As he was, he sort of spilled that ball into the goal post, Jack Darling. So minor score North Melbourne. It's 6-6-42 the Giants. The Kangaroos are 6-5-41. 24 played second quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
It was a super contest from James Leake. He never had really a chance to be involved in that, and to get that ball to hit the post was significant for his team in this late point of this first half.
Touch number 16 by Ash. Oh, and it's nearly a turnover. It flicked the fingers of McKercher. Gets over the top. Himmelberg kicks it to Hogan. He's under pressure from Wardlaw, and the ball turns over. Stevens tries to handball over the top. It comes back to him, so he looks behind him, goes to Parker by hand, and by foot to Wardlaw this time, who's just beyond 50. North trailing by a point. Wardlaw says, I'm kicking it long. Dersma is just short of it. Iden picks it up next to the behind post, didn't want to take it over, had Ash there, handball to him, and they work it out safely, the Giants, who lead by 1.
Whitfield, a neat ball by foot to Daniels, who's out some space. Spargo is chasing though. Daniels has room to bounce. Share it with Cornelio, wide back to Oliver. Cornelio's still going, missed the footy. Daniels didn't though. On the bouncing footy, straightens up from 45. Daniels with the finish, you betcha! Brent Daniels back in the side. And back in a big way. The Giants lead by 7 points as we approach half-time. He is such an effective player for the Giants, Brent Daniels. They're 7-6-48. North Melbourne is 6-5-41. 26 gone here in the second term. Your experts are Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
We talked about pre-game how important it was that the experienced players come into this side, and Cornelio and Daniels significantly involved with the Daniels finish. But you mentioned it earlier, Sado. You double down on what you do well. The orange tsunami, the overhand ball chain through the middle of the ground, it wasn't really working in the first quarter, but it feels like the Giants are just starting to crack North in that defensive transition, and North aren't running that way as well as they did in that first quarter, and Giants just starting to feel like they've got the real momentum in this game.
And again, for me, it comes back a little bit back to that Lockie Ash conversation, because he's the one that does generate that that run and gun game for him from the back half. So if you can take him out of it, it might limit a little bit of what they're trying to do, the Giants.
Lear got the tap, but Finn O'Sullivan back in this week with the clearance. Handball to Sheasel. They're going backwards, still in possession. Sheasel picks up a couple more. He's up to 14. Underground kick, the way of the wing to Spargo. They have numbers, North, if they can work it out. Neat handball to O'Sullivan, then to Stevens on his left foot. Larkey approaches, gets a shove. Umpire keeps his whistle away, so it falls to the deck. Trembath and Iden both jump on it. It'll be a forward stoppage for North Melbourne, who led at quarter time by 7. They now trail by 7.
Up it goes. Both rucks get to it late. Sherry busts the tackle. Hand pass here. Wardlaw brought down. It goes to McKercher and now Sheasel. Loop to hand pass wide here. Again, a Simpkin running by, who again, the running shot at goal misses to the right-hand side. So it is just that 6 points the difference. 7-6-48 plays 6-6-42 as we approach half-time here in Canberra.
You still get that feel too, though, don't you? Every time North get in that forward 50, they're a chance to score as well. It's an open game.
Lockie Whitfield on kick-out duty for now. Goes to James Leake. Has to kick it quickly under pressure, and Cadman leads up the wing. Hit his chest and bounced off. Late pressure from Pink did the job. So North turn it over again, although it's a double turnover. Cornelio read that handball best. Dishes it off to Oliver. Then to Cadman. Inboard, Himmelberg. Lockie Ash there looking for him at every opportunity. And Wardlaw was wise to it. But his short kick off the ground turns over, and Lockie Whitfield settles it down, finds O'Halloran on the wing, who will look to bring it inboard to guess who.
Lockie Ash receives it, now gives the hand pass off to Whitfield running by. It's on the attacking side there of Powell. Kicks inside of 50. Outnumbered was Bedford. They all come to ground here. Mopped up though by Thomas, who snaps off his left boot and misses to the left-hand side. The Giants just keep peppering away, but they lead by just those 7 points. 7-7-49 plays 6-6-42.
You just look at the North Melbourne forward line and think, who is someone that you could send to Lockie Ash? And most of them are really dangerous offensive players, but someone's going to have to do a job. Whether you move Spargo off a wing,
I reckon that's it. I reckon it's Spargo.
Cam Zerha kicking out for North. He played on, he ran out and found Darling down the line. A nice shove from Darling to take the mark. Still in defensive half for North. Up the line to Sherry, who's in best position. Double grab up next to the logo. North Melbourne down by 7 points. Nearing 30 minutes in the second term. They had the hot start, North Melbourne. Kicked 4 goals in a row. They now trail by 7. Sherry, long ball inside 50. Larkey was second there. It comes down. Picked up quickly. That's nice from LDU, who did a bit of a dance. Handball to McKercher. The tap on from Curtis. Larkey in the goal square. He taps it forward. He was tackled. It goes over for a behind. And no, it's been awarded the free kick. So Nick Larkey was held. He didn't take possession of the footy. And that was fair enough. He will kick for goal from the square for his third.
I thought they'd messed that up again. North, we thought Darling maybe drop a mark that he should have taken earlier. Could have been a goal. And then this play here, the tap on from Curtis, probably just needed to take it clean. Could have had a shot on goal himself. But result?
Nick Larkey, he's now kicked 20 goals for the year, and that is goal number 298 in the blue and white for Nick Larkey. Pretty handy for a pick 73. The skipper gets it back to a 1 point ball game. 7-7 plays 7-6. Giants up by a point here on ABC Sport. Lauren Arnell, Jason Saddington.
I think we have to keep talking about Lockie Ash, don't we? And as we get closer to half-time, that has to be the conversation for North Melbourne. And Spargo's just gone to the bench. You assume he sits there for the remainder of the half. There's not too much longer left, but you look at now, Simpkins on a wing, Cooper Stevens is on a wing. Do you ask Dersma to play the wing role and send Spargo as that defensive forward in the second half? Something has to change for them.
Sure does. You look at the game, like the first quarter, the Giants probably lucky to hang in there, but this quarter is probably the opposite, isn't it? I mean, North have done well to stay within a point because the Giants been all over them through this quarter.
We've ticked past that half-hour mark. The Giants by a point. Meanwhile, Brisbane by 45 at the Gabba, so the Crows have come back there. It's a little too late, though, you would think, in the final term. Free kick from the centre restart, so it will be a free kick for a hole going North Melbourne's way. While Davies Cherry being held by his opposite ruck in Lakalia. Gives it back off here to Davies Uniacke. Thumps it deep inside 50 here for North Melbourne. Iden over his head taps it through for a behind. And that will be scores level as we approach the major break. 7-7-49 apiece here in the capital. as it now appears like nighttime. We began the day in sort of afternoon, Sunday arvo sunshine, and now it's certainly the cooler part of the darker part of the twilight fixture.
Lockie Whitfield, his 17th touch, a short one. And they go long, down to the wing. Back of the pack was Cadman, punched it forward, which was defensive side. Oliver picks it up. Lockie Ash, touch number 19 is a long kick, and Hogan arrives late. Barges into Sherry, affected the mark. It's on the ground. Sherry's down there, as is Leclerc. And it's buried underneath a few. And the umpire pays the free kick to Leclerc, says Sherry didn't have a good enough attempt at it. So Leclerc gets a chance to go inside 50 for the Giants. We've played 32 minutes. Scores level as we head into half-time. Kick is long. Looking for a big grab. Goes over the back, and the grab is taken, but it is by Dylan Stevens. Just 10 metres out from goal. North will repel that attack, and scores will be level at half-time. 7-7 apiece. The goal scorers for GWS, Hogan has 2, Brent Daniels 1, Stringer 1, Cadman 1, Gothard and Alier the other singles. For North Melbourne, Larkey has a trio. Doveston, the only other goal kicker for North in that second quarter, to go with Spargo, Wardlaw and Curtis. 7-7 apiece, 49 all at half-time. Brett Sprigg, what a game we have.
In a week of blowouts too. Hopefully a little more close this game here at Manuka Oval. Your thoughts, please, former Swan and Blue Jason Saddington and Premiership winner Lauren Arnell.
I think we had a fair result. A half-time to be all tied up. We mentioned it very late in that quarter. It was the momentum shift from the first to the second. North had the advantage through that first quarter. The Giants found a way to hang in there. Through the second quarter, the Giants certainly got their running game going. Lockie Ash off half-back's been the most dangerous player on the field. Plenty of ball inside 50. Looked like they were about to kick away, but North Melbourne found a way to get a little bit more front half. And when they've got the ball inside 50 North, they've actually looked pretty dangerous themselves, and they found a way to claw it back and go in and even break at half-time. It's an interesting game. I feel like North probably have the advantage more around stoppage and clearance, but the Giants get the advantage off half-back. And that run, we've mentioned Ash a few times, even Lockie Whitfield has managed to get, I think, 17 possessions through that front half. So a very interesting game of footy. I wouldn't say it's been a contest and an absolute brutal beast of a game. It's been quite open. It's been running. It's been entertaining. And we're in for a ripper second half.
I have enjoyed the momentum swings. I did think North were out on their feet with about 6 minutes to go, and I thought the Giants could really get going on them, and they didn't. North held up really nicely, which I wasn't expecting, I'll be honest with that. So what I enjoyed at the back end of that quarter was Stevens took the half-saving mark against Hogan, and no one got to him when the siren went, and Luke McDonald had come from one of the furthest away and made sure you could see him remonstrating with his teammates. Make sure you get to him, because that's a really important deep defensive mark that Stevens took late in that half, and it makes for a really exciting second half, I think. I'm really looking forward to it, and very much watching the Lockie Ash matchup, what happens with Alier and Trembath even. Do you put Trembath up around the ball a little bit more? He's had less influence than what we've seen previous weeks, so I was excited to watch Trembath play today, and I just haven't seen as much of him, and I think you have to play Sherry, and he's been good. You have to give him his minutes around the ground, but I think they're probably losing a little bit of that dynamic play from Trembath. It's a lot of fun to watch when you watch North Melbourne.
9 games, 22 goals for Trembath, and he's been held to 3 touches, hardly been amongst it. He's one of the most watchable players at the game, but GWS have shut him down at the back. So who goes in happier with the first half? Is there a coach that's more happy, or it feels like both coaches would be a bit like, we got room?
If you asked me 7 minutes ago, I'd say Kingsley is happier. But then if I'm Clarkson, what you want from you guys is to be able to withstand the tsunami that we saw in that second quarter, and I think the back end of the quarter there, you actually saw them withstand it and show a bit of maturity that we haven't seen North Melbourne have in such a long time. So I think the game's absolutely in the balance, and it's going to be a ripping second half.
Scores at level here, 7 goals at 7 behinds apiece, the Giants and North Melbourne here on ABC Sport. Your texts welcome, 0437 774 774. Love ABC footy, go North, you are going well. This was sent earlier. They're going okay now, but not as well as they were before. And will win if you keep believing, says Jan from Euroa. Good on you, Jan, great to hear from you. Had a couple of texts earlier as well. Frank in Winthrop in WA asks, where was the New Zealand national anthem? wasn't part of the observance.
Okay.
It seems to be for the marquee. I know they're all important, but for the marquee Anzac games, they have the both anthems. We didn't have a New Zealand anthem here in Canberra. Royce from Mulgrave says, "G'day team. At yesterday's Anzac Day march in Dandenong, there were 3 anthems, and he's actually ranked them here. New Zealand, world's best, Australia, and thirdly, God Save the King." Cheers, Royce, which was our national anthem during the big world wars, of course, last century. Thank you, Royce. I will say, look, I think all anthems are important for their respective countries. I don't like to rank them or compare them.
But I will.
But I called the NRL game in Wellington yesterday, and having a sellout crowd behind God Defend New Zealand, I was ready to go out there and pull on a black jersey and just go out there and rip in. And anyone who knows me knows I wouldn't be able to do that ordinarily. So anyway, thank you.
Top 2 anthems.
I'm not sure why there was 0437 774 774. LDU or McKercher being tagged. Asked Lachlan from Footscray. They've had a bit of the footy, McKercher. I mean.
The U10, McKercher's up there as well. What's he had?
8. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the mids either side have had huge influence, because even Callaghan and Oliver was spoken about, hasn't had a lot, but no, I don't think any mids dominated the game at all.
Harry Sheasel with 16, so he's the leading ball winner for North, and then after him is Tristan Sherry with 14.
Keep your texts coming. Anne-Marie asked what our goal songs would be. But you would have had goal songs.
I got to choose one and never got to use it because it was only for home games. So I reckon the last season I played it. I'm not sure if I'd stick with it at this point in time because it was 5 years ago, but I went with Tones and I Fly Away. I thought that'd be a bit of fun.
Nice.
The summer in Brisbane.
It's Australian as well.
Let that fly a little bit. Just a bit of just AFLW. It's a fun atmosphere. You want to have a bit of a sing-along.
Sado, anything?
Let's go with Jamiroquai, Canned Heat.
That's it. It's your vintage, late 90s. And okay.
Yep.
That can you go on? A music guy?
Well, one of my favourite songs ever, Ballpark Music, Nice to Be Alive, because it would mean I would be playing AFL, which would be pretty nice. And I was very far from that.
It would be nice.
You're not getting out of this, Spriggy. What have you got?
What would I have for my...
New Zealand national anthem.
Can you imagine?
Post-goal.
And then the haka.
That would be something. I think I was asked this question last year, wasn't I? What did I say? I can't even remember. Give me like some White Stripes or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seven Nation Army. Or that's sort of just, for want of a better example. Keep your texts coming, 0437 774 774. It's halftime here, and I think it's just about full-time in Brisbane, where the Lions have a scoreboard of 18-13-121 over Adelaide 11-8-74. I think it's just gone full time there in that game at the Gabba, and we'll have more of our audience join us for the back end of this game as well. The final game of round 7. Yes, indeed, the final siren has just sounded there at the Gabba, and the Lions winners there by 62 points. Scores level here in the final game of round 7 at Manuka Oval in Canberra. The Giants and the Kangaroos. Back with more shortly, but right now it's time for ABC News.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. FBI agents and police officers are searching an address in California after gunshots were fired in the lobby outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, attended by US President Donald Trump. Larry Buttrose has more on this story.
US media have identified the suspect as 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen of Torrance in California. He's due to appear in court tomorrow on firearms charges after a Secret Service agent was shot but saved from serious injury by his bulletproof vest. Donald Trump, his wife Melania, and key figures of his administration were among the 2,500 people in the ballroom of the Washington Hilton where the dinner was being held. Mr. Trump described the moment he heard the shots.
I heard a noise. I thought it was a tray going down, but it was a gun.
People dived under tables and the president and his wife were rushed from the scene.
America's editor John Lyons says that all the shooter needed to get into the dinner was a ticket.
I'm shocked the security here tonight at the Washington Hilton was less than the security you would face at Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane airports. The security here tonight, and I've spent time at the New South Wales Parliament in Sydney, the security here tonight was less than the security at the Victorian or New South Wales parliaments. And I think that it seems to me what happened was there was Secret Service everywhere, that they were very much focused on the President himself. But all the other Cabinet Secretaries, I think, were quite exposed.
Nationals leader Matt Canavan has told a crowd outside Parliament House in Canberra that Australia will be more prosperous and unified when the Patriots are back in control. Senator Canavan spoke to a crowd of hundreds of people gathered at an anti-immigration rally taking place in the capital today. One Nation leader Pauline Hanson and Queensland MP Bob Katter have also addressed the crowd. Senator Canavan says that clamping down on immigration will make the country richer.
When the Patriots are back in control, when people are back in control, we're going to unleash the potential of this nation like you've never seen before. And we've got so much. We're going to be unified. We're going to be prosperous. We're going to be rich. And we will be unified again.
A ceremony has taken place in Ukraine to mark the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Eliza Getzi has the story.
At 1:23am on the 26th of April 1986, the fourth reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, causing a meltdown that exposed millions to radiation, forced hundreds of thousands to flee, and contaminated large swathes of land. Exactly 4 decades on to the minute, mourners gathered to pay their respects, decked out head to toe in white protective suits, ringing a bell, lighting candles and laying flowers in a ceremony that began late on Saturday night in the northern Ukrainian city of Slavutich. The city was purpose-built for those who evacuated the Soviet-built plant after the disaster.
The Victorian Liberal Party is calling for the state's police force to be expanded after a string of fire bombings and shootings at inner Melbourne hospitality venues. Police say a man was seen fleeing a blazing bar in Chapel Street, Paran, at around 5 o'clock this morning and is yet to be found. They're also investigating a drive-by shooting at the Emerson Hotel in South Yarra overnight. Witnesses say several shots were fired, but no one was injured. Shadow Attorney General James Newbury says something needs to be done.
We Victorians know that organised crime is out of control. It's time to get tough, and that's why we've said we need to recruit 3,000 new police.
A teenager is fighting for life in hospital after a serious crash south of Brisbane this afternoon. Police say a vehicle left Carter Road in the Logan area and hit a tree just before 3 o'clock local time. The male teen has been taken to the Queensland Children's Hospital, while 2 other people are in hospital in a stable condition. Road closures in the area are in place. To sport, and St Kilda has risen to 12th on the AFL ladder with a 101-point trouncing of West Coast. Jack Higgins kicked 5 goals and Liam Ryan 3 as the Saints cruised to a 22-11, 143 to 5-12, 42 triumph. The score was St Kilda's largest during coach Ross Lyne's second spell in charge of the team, while the victory margin was the club's first of more than 100 points in 10 seasons. This is ABC News.
Look at me. Anne Edmonds, Kitty Flanagan, Magda Zabansky, and so many more.
Good morning, everyone.
No one cares. In comedy gems like Fisk, Kath and Kim, and Bad Company.
This fun? No, thank you.
Comedy that leaves an impression. ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Thursma goes inside 50. Diving grab taken down there by Larkey. Flying up here for his second of the afternoon, Nick Larkey. He trots in, the Kangaroos skipper, and he makes no mistake there. A couple of goals for big Subalaki. Flares this well wide. It's off the side of the boot. Falls there for Gothard, who slams it through. Well, right place, right time. Gothard with the crumbs and the finish.
Turns to Cadman, who used his body so well, shielding Pink and had his arms outstretched. Takes the mark. Cadman gets involved here, though. A goal to their leading goal kicker of 2025. He is on the board tonight. It's fluid play, leading out his stringer. Falls in front of it, picks it up, breaks one tackle, breaks a second. On his right, Jakey Stringer, that is vintage.
Loose ball pounced on by Davies Uniac for the Kangaroos. Goes inside 50, at the back, Larkey. Breaks the leg tackle, and this tumbles toward the goal line. Finished off down there by Doverston. Emilio's still going, missed the footy. Daniels didn't though. On the bouncing footy, straightens up from 45. Daniels with the finish, you betcha! Brent Daniels back in the side. He is such an effective player.
Handball to McKercher. The tap on from Curtis. Larkey in the goal square. He taps it forward. He was tackled. It goes over for a behind. And no, it's been awarded the free kick. Nick Larkey, he's now kicked 20 goals for the year. And that is goal number 298 in the blue and white for Nick Larkey. Pretty handy for a pick 73.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Scores level here at Manuka Oval in Canberra in the final game of round 7, Anzac Appeal round. Now the Giants 7-7-49, North Melbourne 7-7-49. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Declan Byrne, Lauren Arnell, Jason Saddington and Adam Shirley. The second half is only a few minutes away. Keep your texts coming, 0437 774 774. Earlier at Docklands, St Kilda beat West Coast by 101 points. It's the first time they've won by 101 points, the Saints, I think in over 10 years. So that was a big win for Ross Lyons' men. Munganid Miller had 34 disposals and Jack Higgins kicked 5 goals. And the game most recently completed at the Gabba, a rare day game it seems at the Gabba, the Lions 19-13, 127, beat Adelaide 11-9-75. That final score in the end, 52 points, that final margin. The man with arguably the AFL's most famous goal song, Charlie Cameron, kicked 4 goals. Zach Bailey had 3. Lockie Neal with 42 disposals, and Will Ashcroft had it 36 times as well for the Brisbane Lions. In the NRL competition, Rugby League, the Panthers beat the Knights in Newcastle 44-12, and at Brookvale, Manly Warringah have beaten Parramatta 33-18. So those are the winners in the NRL today. And of course, you can get across all the sport happening in Australia and around the world, abc.net.au/sport. You can find all of our stories there, pictures, podcasts, and the lot, as well as via ABC Listen, our trusty app. Still half footy to go here as the Kangaroos make their way back out of the rooms. A few of you sharing the disappointment that there was no New Zealand national anthem. So Mike DePom in Denmark says, I agree with previous texters. I'm embarrassed that we didn't play the New Zealand national anthem. They are so much a part of Anzac Day, given it's the Australian New Zealand Army Corps. I want to pay homage to Scott Pendlebury on his medal win yesterday. Credit to the ABC on your coverage of all sport. Thank you, Mike DePom in Denmark, WA. Beautiful part of the world over there. He had 19 score involvements, Scott Pendlebury, for his medal-winning performance yesterday at the MCG.
It's winding back the clock, isn't it?
In his 431st game, I think it was.
Craziness.
Yeah. So there you go. Marcus in South Melbourne also disappointed no New Zealand anthem here in Canberra. Yeah, I can't explain why it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not in charge of those things, or anything for that matter.
You could give us a rendition if you want.
Oh, come on.
No. But we do see it. We had it for the, as I say, they're all important, but the so-called marquee events, so the Friday at the MCG, Saturday at the MCG, or yesterday at Anzac Day, and the Len Hall game for Freo's home game, they all had the New Zealand national anthem. I'm not sure why it wasn't done here. I did love as well that they had the Defence Force footy teams out here, and I saw you catching up with a fellow AFLW legend pre-game, Lauren Arnell.
Premiership teammate Kate Lutkins, post-birth of 2 children, has been named in the ACT state team this year and ended up playing against them for the ADF in the pre-game today. So
really?
Lutzi, as ever, very resilient and loves her footy. And yeah, I will laugh though. She's from Ipswich and managed to get sunburnt in Canberra today. So well done, Lutzi.
Sunny conditions here in the capital. I'm sure it's dipped a bit temperature-wise as well. We'll get to Adam Shirley on the boundary very, very shortly. Both teams out of the rooms and warming up for the second half. We mentioned Lockie Ash's first half with 19 disposals at 73% kicking efficiency. Lockie Whitfield with 17 touches to lead all comers, those 2 names, and then Harry Sheasel with 16 disposals for North Melbourne. Nick Larkey, you mentioned, 3 goals in that first half, Declan, so he's got 298 goals now for North. He is in their top 15 goal kickers all time, which is, I know it sounds like a slightly obscure sort of stat to say top 15, but it gives you something. He's got plenty of his career still to come, and he's pressing towards a career milestone of 300 is their new skipper. The second half is not too far away.
I've got to Couple of questions. First one's a little bit off topic.
Please.
Going back to St Kilda's win, how many were in the Ross Lyon press conference? I'm interested in after this week. The other one,
lots or none?
Or do they boycott?
Yeah.
And probably one, I'd love to go back to the first centre bounce of the game and see, was Lecalier wearing a shin guard or not? Because we've heard...
Good question.
He's struggling with the shin.
He's got it on now.
He's got it taped up.
Something there now.
You would like to hope so, knowing that you're going to take centre bounce. I'm suggesting
he's
that
learnt the hard way.
He did not wear a shin guard when you're going up against.
Might have been studded.
Centre bounce. It's something you should do. Anyhow,
did you have to ruck it all?
Yes. Old school when you're off the long run up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shin pad on?
No.
Okay.
No, it was tough back then, mate. What are you talking about?
Shin pad. You didn't wear mouth guards.
So wait, you're giving Lecalier a bit of shtick for not wearing one?
Well, yeah, in the modern
game. You didn't wear one?
You wear one.
In the modern game, okay.
Go North, says Mike in Texas. Lexi and Ruby in Dalesford. Go Roos, great commentary team. I've been informed as well that per the official guidelines for Anzac observances, the New Zealand anthem is actually optional. So I can't explain why it wasn't done, but it is optional, just so for those that want to know.
That's to bed.
7-7-49 the scoreline here. Let's get back underway. Second half here at Manuka. Here is Declan Byrne.
Lecalier not in the middle. We'll check in on Shin Pad Watch. It is Madden v Sherry. First clearance goes the way of North. Sheasel was dragged and dumped as he kicked it forward. Lockie Ash starting the third quarter like he had plenty of it in the first half. His errant handball, though, finds the hands of Curtis. Looks back, gives it to Sherry, kicks in board. It goes inside 50 to the right forward pocket. Dersma, no angle to speak of, and it goes to the line, punch through. Nice defensive work from the Giants. First score of the third quarter goes the way of the Kangaroos. They're first to 50. 50 plays 49.
So North with the first score of the second half. As Whitfield brings it back in here for GWS. Finds his captain, Toby Green. And number 268 today for him to get the baton passed from Callan Ward for most games in the orange and charcoal. Sliding out Cadman marks at left half back. On his preferred left side. Down the outer side of the ground, spilled by Madden. There's a free kick here going the way of North Melbourne, I think. Umpires just pointed and indicated that Luke Parker got a shove. Winner of 5 Brett Kirk medals, as it's now known, the Kirk Ward medal in derbies. Always plays well against the Giants, even in his new colours. Luke Parker, Sheasel, hand pass off here. They go with Core from centre half back. Stevens, speaking of former Swans, was held there by Thomas. Umpire saw it. Free kick North Melbourne.
Probably not the worst free kick to give away either, to be honest. It slowed North up.
The Kangaroos by a point in these first 90 seconds of quarter number 3. Calls a movement on now, Dylan Stevens. A left footer. Sends it deep at the teeth of goal. Lucky wants the run there. Got a spoil from Laverde. At the drop, McKercher can snap from the right forward pocket. Goes out of bounds on the full. North by a point here. 7-8 plays 7-7.
So just watching so far, Simpkins the one that's running around with Ash. I'll keep watching to see if it's tactical or if he's just a match-up at the moment.
He was definitely the first one to lay a tackle on Ash.
Connor Iden deep in the left back pocket. Kicks it long up towards Cadman, who made the most of that contest. It fell over the back. He didn't get the free kick, but Brett Daniels was there. He goes for a dash, 2 bounces, kicks off the right-hand side of his boot, and it works. Cornelio marks, handballs to Green, another inside 50 for Toby Green, and taking the grab 40 metres out right in front is Harvey Thomas. Toby Green might be down on goals this year, but he is top 5 for inside 50s in the comp. Another one there, and he finds the chest of a teammate looking for the first goal of the third.
Good from Daniels, just run at the game, take them on, and we've seen a number of times already in the first half. North Melbourne can't keep up with that speed of ball movement when the Giants win turnover like that.
Even the transition to Thomas, to get inside 50 and get on the end of it was huge.
Harvey Thomas in the same draft as McKercher and Dersma, but he's played more games. He's been really resilient. Number 1 on his back, and he gets the number 1 goal of the third quarter. And the Giants kick ahead. They're up by 5 points. It is 8-7-55 to 7-8-50. We've played 3 minutes here in the third term on ABC Sport. Your experts are Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
Well, you mentioned Brent Daniels. That's what they need from him, don't they? And it's what they've missed with him being out of the team through the back half of last year and certainly the early part of this year. Just his ability to break the game open with his speed. He's such a such a dynamic footballer, and he uses it very well going inside 50. It was a great chase from Davis Uniacke on Daniels, but just couldn't quite get there. Then the ball in from Toby Green as well into Harvey Thomas was a wonderful finish. And you mentioned he hasn't been hitting the scoreboard, Toby, but he's been playing a lot more midfield time, and he's back in at this centre bounce. He's had a good start to the year.
The Giants by 5 points. Restart back in the middle. Madden rises against Cherry. And down here there was a hold. Again, it will go North Melbourne's way. And Finn O'Sullivan back from a broken jaw this evening. Goes long down the corridor. Up in front, Tremba with a pack grab, couldn't hang on to it. Buckley off to Himmelberg, and now Angwin still inside defensive 50. Himmelberg bursts by, the former Eastlake Demon of this very part of the world. Spent a lot of his childhood here in Canberra. As Bedford now marks on the outer side. Angwin still running. Points his kick inside 50, and Hogan comes up and takes a chest mark. 40 out from goal in the left forward pocket.
Love a replay on that passage of play. Just as it went inside 50 for the Giants, looked into the middle of ground, and Lockie Ash is on his haunches. No one around him. Wouldn't mind a little TV replay if we can grab one while we're on radio.
Jesse Hogan.
Not to be.
2 goals this evening. A couple of weeks ago became the first player ever to kick goals at 20 different AFL venues. And gather around, and the Barossa goes to the top of the square here as another free kick's been picked out to go the Giants' way this time. Advantage is paid as it's picked up by Toby Green. He snaps it through. So he does hit the scoreboard here, Toby Green. Hayden Core gave away the free kick on Nick Madden. On Nick Madden, not Nick Maddenson, has also played here, by the way, as a cricketer. And the Giants lead by 11 points, 9-7-61 to North 7-8-50. 6 minutes played, third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
Once again, the Giants generating that ball movement from their D50, just a run-and-gun game. Hogan, it was an interesting decision from him to lay up. I thought he could have had a set shot. He normally would from inside 50, but he just laid the ball up to the top of the square. He saw Nick Madden there, thought we'll get the mismatch. It was probably the right call because he did get the free kick, but Toby Green took it, played on. Lauren, you noticed something in the middle of the ground?
I did. We did get that at the right angle in the box here from the TV broadcast, and Simpkins laid one on Lockie Ash right up the middle of the ground off the ball. Little punch in the tummy from what I could see.
Well, that should slow him down. He's on 20 touches at the moment. We're back in the middle, have a restart. Giants with an 11-point lead, their biggest of the game. North had an 18-point lead at one point. Well, it has been flipped around. Giants had a dominant second quarter, at least the back half of that second quarter. And they've started the third well. Free kick goes the way of Sherry. Hands it off to Caleb Daniel. Divided by a foot, those two. United by headgear. Goes inside 50, and Himmelberg, the defensive intercept mark. He'll play on quickly with hands to Iden.
Iden squeezes the kick beyond defensive 50. Madden hand pass off to Ash, bursting by off half back, and his kick going wide for Cornelio. Intercepted down there by Zerha. Only falls as far as Angwin though of the Giants, and now pulls it back infield for Clayton Oliver. Only 12 disposals for him so far, Clayton Oliver. Here's number 13 coming up. Long raking ball inside 50. 2-on-2. Hogan was being held by Logue. Out the drop there in defence, Curtis. Back to Sherry for North Melbourne, and now Core will come wide to find Tom Powell. So the Giants by 11 points here early in this third term. For North Melbourne, a place in the top 4 at stake at the conclusion of round 7. The Giants just need some kind of win. They come beyond defensive 50, North Melbourne. At the drop, Iden slung to the deck there by Davies Uniacke. Umpire lets them play. The ball's extracted as Curtis slides in there with Himmelberg. Buckley mops up here. It's going to be a free kick here, as it was, in fact, Himmelberg sliding on Curtis. So free kick for North Melbourne, members wing of Manuka Oval.
Paul Curtis fresh off 6 goals. His dad texted him the morning of the game saying, "You're going to get 6 today, son." I wonder what he texted him today. Just the single for Curtis at the moment. And he kicks down the line to a big contest. There's another whistle on play, and it's 2 free kicks in a row. The umpire's helping North Melbourne march down the field. It's with Dersma, beneficiary of the free kick. He's 60 out, takes his time. Plenty of bodies in front of him, so skews to the right. Into the centre square to Caleb Daniel. Veers out to his right. Low penetrating kick to Larkey in a one-on-one. Just spoiled behind by Laverde. Comes to Oliver, quick hands, most contested possessions in the comp, Clayton Oliver this year. Oh, what a tackle! A bump on Ash as he was going to kick it from Sherry. It falls the way of Simpkin, and he makes them pay. and they get over to Sherry, and they might just sneak over to Lockie Ash as well, who held on to it too long. Jai Simpkin with the get-back goal. It is a 5-point ball game. Giants lead 9-7-61 to 8-8-56.
Big play from Sherry, and that's one reason why they've missed him the last few weeks. But the Ash intercept, it looked in some ways a little bit similar to the Blitzarves injury from Butters last night, but he's got up and looks okay. Massive front half turnover for North.
He just took forever, Lockie Ash, didn't he, to try and get rid of the ball. It looked like the Giants are about to run out again. Something they've been able to do easy this quarter from their D50 is just run the ball out and transition forward. But Cherry just arrived in time. Great work from the big man. And then it was Simpkin, who's Ash's direct opponent at the moment, that was able to cash in.
The closest game of the round so far. Earlier, the Saints beat West Coast by 101. And at the Gabba, Brisbane beat Adelaide by 52 points. From the restart, Oliver trying to get there, but Stringer beats him to it. His teammate breaks the tackle of Sherry. Hand pass goes nowhere, only as far as Wardlaw. And now here with Davies Uniacke. Sweeps it back wide by hand, McKercher. Left foot kick on the angle finds Simpkin to kick that last goal. He's 55 from home here. Sets it long to the pocket. Up in front goes Angwin. It missed Laverde. Spargo is dangerous, lurking. Angwin goes off the deck to Iden. Pressure on the Giants' defence as Iden's hand pass goes wide to O'Halloran, and he's run down by Core. This handball, does it go towards that junction of 50 and not quite last possession because it was only just inside the arc of 50? So we'll throw it back in at the pool end of Manuka Oval. That's the end that North are attacking to in this third term, but the Giants lead by 5 points.
That's the key to the game for North right now, is get that pressure in the front half. Don't let the Giants march the ball out.
Sharon spun back in. It'll land on the paint. Sherry taps it defensive side, and it's kicked forward off the ground by the Giants. First to reach the footy was Logue. Lecalier Velcro, or as you'd like to call it, Brett Sprigg, the backpack tackle. And we'll have a ball up 80 metres away from the North goal. Again, Sherry taps it defensively. No one was there. Caleb Daniel runs onto it. 10 years at the Bulldogs. Celebrated that reunion. He turns it over here, though, and it'll go inside 50. And first to react was Jake Stringer. It was a brilliant kick out of the contest in front of Stringer, who just kept running and didn't have to break stride. He'll kick for goal from 45 metres on the 45-degree angle. Giants up by 5.
So we've seen 2 scoring opportunities for the Giants come from a similar position of stoppage in their back half. So Daniels, as the high half forward, comes up inside the stoppage. And as the ball spills, you mentioned it was Cherry's tap that went backwards, which is forwards for the Giants. And they get the run on. Luke McDonald, as a spare, gets sucked in, and they get out the back on him. Easy mark inside 50.
He turned 32 yesterday, Jakey Stringer. Kicked his 400th goal a couple of weeks ago for his second today. Across the face. Lead is a neat goal. 62 plays 56, 11.5 minutes into this third quarter at Manuka Oval. Sunday Arvo footy on AVC Sport.
And Caleb Daniel will take the kick in here for North Melbourne. On the half volley, it arrives to McDonald. Just desperately pumps it long beyond offensive 50. Sherry up in front on the pack on the wing. Umpire saw a free kick for a high tackle going North's way. Advantage paid here as it comes to Doverston. Down the line, Larkey mark. Still 70 from goal here to Skipper. On the cricket pitch, the centre wicket here at Manuka Oval. No drop-ins here in the capital. As Larkey, cricket lover himself, goes wide to Zerha. From right half forward, inside 50. That was just neat delivery there for Finn O'Sullivan, who marks 30 from goal at right full forward.
And that's why he's playing half back. Only the 6 possessions so far in this game, but super ball use from Zerha going inside 50.
It was patient from North again. It's the right play, I think. Don't have to rush and get that ball in. Take your time. Larkey just hit it sideways, and they're able to find the free player out the other side from a lovely kick, Zerha.
So level things up here. Finn O'Sullivan trots in the right forward pocket, gets under it, goes high, misses near side. Giants by 5 off the SMS. Linda and Mike Holidaying in New Zealand asking about Cooper Trembath and why his stats appeared down today. He's out there right now, but Adam Shirley, just describe what you saw from Trembath in the first half for us.
Just every time he came off the field, Brett, he was always heaving on his haunches a bit. He looks a bit unwell, even though he doesn't seem to be carrying any other ailments.
Connor Iden with the kick out of defensive 50, and holding the space was Cornelio. One of two inaugural Giants out there. Toby Green, the other. He's now the games record holder. Looks inboard to Whitfield, who's fourth on the all-time games list. Gives it back to Cornelio. It's messy at his toes, so it puts them under pressure. Sometimes that works for the Giants, not here. Turning it over. Powell was tackled as he handballed it. And the free kick's going the way of Angwin. Incorrect disposal. Ryan Angwin wastes no time on his left foot. Has the lead of Cadman. Second grab in front of Pink. Marks just inside 50 on a very tight angle. Will look to kick for goal. They lead by 5, the Giants.
There's an argument to say the Giants got very, very lucky there trying to force that overlap handball when the kick mark game broke down. But for Angwin, I've really enjoyed the moments he showed up in. I don't know how much of the footy he's had so far today, but he's shown up in big moments, and that kick to Cadman was as good as you'll see today.
He's been very influential in defensive 50 for the Giants. He's intercepted or created contests a few times this quarter.
Aaron Cadman from 50 metres against the boundary line. He kicked 4 last year against North, and he's getting going tonight with his second. It stretches that Giants lead, 10-8-68 to 8-9-57. 14 minutes have been played in the third term. Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington are your experts on ABC Sport.
So to refresh on that, Angwin's had the 15 disposals, which is fourth for the Giants, and almost 360 metres gained to this point. But Sado, I want to ask you about Cadman.
Yep.
He looks like he's just building into the game. Really quiet first quarter, was ball watching a fair bit, but the last couple he's looked really promising.
It's just been a tough start to the year for him, obviously missing a bit of footy. Came back in the other week, kicked a bag, and then straight back out last week. Just not ready to go again. And I mean, here he is popping up. We saw last year moments of him kicking goals, and his game was starting to come out, form a number one pick. It's great. It would just be great to see him get that consistency in this year, and I think he's going to have a big year.
Back from concussion, one of 5 inclusions this week for Adam Kingsley's man. Free kick out of the middle here going the way of Jake Stringer from that centre ball up. So he goes long inside 50. Hogan in the contest with Logue, a couple of West Aussies. Down at the drop there, Thomas. Handball off to Toby Green. It was bundled over there by Wardlaw. Finn Callaghan, 23rd birthday today. Hand pass to Leake, and now wide here for Hannaford, who's dumped in the Parker tackle. Out of bounds on the full. Just incidentally, by the way, this is my very, very last point on this. Linda and Mike, who went to an Anzac service in Auckland yesterday, said there was no Australian national anthem. So there you go. They come in board here. Parker not 15, play on. Back to Daniel. The Kangaroos are away.
Caleb Daniel running out to the left, but uses the outside of his right boot. So much skill. He finds Doveston, who marks near the point of the square. Defensive side for the Roos. Caleb Daniel never seems to be marked. He's always free. Gets another touch here. That is number 16.
He's hard to see.
Oh, yeah. Smallest fella on the ground. 171 centimetres. Kicks up towards Trembath. Falls over the back. Larkey taps it to Powell, who taps it on as well. Giants swarm in numbers. 3 on top of the ball. And the umpire happy to throw it up 60 metres out from the north goal.
171, you said. That has to be with helmet and boots on.
Yeah. Don't want to start with 1.6 something, do you, in the AFL? The recruiters wouldn't look at you. Finn Callaghan, the recruiters loved him. He is a gun for the Giants. Big clearance and backing back. The courage of Parker is not rewarded because Hogan was being held. So Parker took the mark, gets up gingerly, and all he's got to show for it is get back defensively. Jesse Hogan with the free kick in the centre square.
Ball didn't come straight back either, so they're pleading for 50 here, the Giants. They won't get it. 11 points is the home side's lead here in Canberra. 17 going third term. Hogan loads up inside 50. Cadman with a leap up there. Comes down here for Hannaford. Back to Cadman. Tumbling ball in the goal square. And it sits up and goes through for a minor score. So the Giants with what is now their game high lead of 12. 10-9-69 plays 8-9-57. As mentioned, 17.5 played here in this third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Luke Parker ball in hand. Alistair Clarkson said he wanted a Luke Hodge type player. He gets Luke Parker and he's on the halfback flank. He's doing well this year. They escape out the right-hand side through Daniel and O'Sullivan. It's all via hand and it's under pressure. And a big push tackle comes from Himmelberg. Over the boundary line. It'll be a ball in between wing and halfback for North Melbourne. They trail by 2 straight goals. They've kicked 1 this quarter to the Giants 3. The ball spun back in and Leclerc up against Sherry. He trails him to the footy. And it falls the front to O'Halloran. He can't get clean possession. Wardlaw's on hands and knees. O'Halloran's there as well. It spits out eventually, but just after the whistle is blown. So another ball up 75 metres out from the North defensive goal. They trail by 12 here at Manuka.
Up it goes, snatched out of the ruck down there by Cherry, who lost his footing. Callaghan comes up with it for the Giants, so Halloran hand pass off to Angwin's been busy in this game for GWS. His kick goes inside 50, it was touched to Parker, so play on. Dangerous here, Stringer is lurking, volley is out of the air, right across the goal face, and it goes out of bounds for a throw-in at right full forward for the Giants. 12 points is their lead, 19 gone third term.
Big moment in this game. It felt like exactly the same momentum swing. The Giants had control of the game at this point in time in the second quarter. North have to respond.
As we approach time on here in the third quarter, Sherry and Aaliyah in the ruck, and now over it is Caleb Daniel for North Melbourne.
Just another little test. Sorry, Spriggy.
Just welcoming listeners through South Australia. Loz, your hometown, Adelaide and surrounds, joining us here on ABC Sport for the final game of round 7 as Callaghan breaks through a pack for the Giants and misses. It is GWS and North Melbourne here at Manuka Oval in Canberra. Finn Callaghan's behind, makes it now the Giants 10-10-70, North Melbourne 8-9-57. We've played 19 and a half minutes in this third term, and you're with Brett Sprigg, Declan Byrne, Jason Saddington, Lauren Arnell and Adam Shirley as the Kangaroos bring it back in.
It was Parker to Core. The ball's in front of him. He body-lined it, and Gothard, well, he came off second best. North are running it out at 50. McKercher's left foot is usually good. Finds Sheasel. Sheasel looks laterally to a running Caleb Daniel. Again, he is free. And McKercher running past him, gets the handball. Forward handball there to Luke McDonald. Has Darling next to him. Long way from home. They're still between wing and half forward. McKercher doesn't look like the look of anything ahead of him. Goes back to Logue. His kick. Asked too much of Sheasel. Turnover, middle of the ground. 1-on-1 inside 50. Hogan holds it up for a little bit longer. Whitfield received the handball. Gets rid of one tackle. His pants are halfway down his butt and he keeps running. Kick inside 50. Turnover. North Melbourne will repel.
Here they come on the bounce of McKercher, who's dumped in the tackle of Whitfield toward the boundary line for a throw-in. Just sum up the game for us so far, Lauren Arnell, Jason Saddington.
I think it's been a game of balance, but the Giants, for me, since the second quarter, have been in control. And right now, there's a key moment for Clarkson and North Melbourne. Just that test of maturity again in this third quarter. Can you get back momentum?
A place in the top 4 awaits if they win here this evening, as Curtis lays the tackle in there on Cornelio. Kicks inside 50 here for the Giants, and it comes to Aidan Core, a former Giant. 98 games in the orange, charcoal and white. And now Toby Pink, who was the late in for Charlie Comben, out with illness, flares it wide to the outer side here for the Kangaroos. It's off hands. And Stevens onto it now for the Kangaroos. His captain Larkey running by. It's fired away here for Doverston. Room to bounce, though he runs into trouble on the outer side there in the form of Angwin. Got the hand pass away though. Back to Larkey, still running. Closes to 52. Shies on goal here. He misses near side, which makes it a 12-point ball game the Giants' way. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Just briefly, George Wardlaw hobbling off at his interchange switch over just then, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's got a history of ankle problems. He was wincing with pain as he came off virtually on one leg. We'll see if they can get him going.
I just feel like North is struggling to get that ball inside 50 at the moment. When they do go in, it's like Nick Larkey's the one they need to kick to, but it's Nick Larkey kicking the ball inside 50 at the moment. They need him to be the target.
Himmelberg on the kick out, shanked it over the head of Whitfield, out on the full. So North will have a kick. Jack Darling was first over there. He raced over. His kick will be basically where the point of the 50 meets the boundary line.
He's capable.
Jason Saddington believes. Tight angle. They need a goal, North. It's 3-1 in this third quarter. He kicks it from the paint, gives it a good old ride all the way to the edge of the square. And is that a mark? A metre out. There were 6 Giants defenders. Sherry claiming the mark.
Touched.
The umpire says it was touched, just a metre short, so he'll ball it up straight away. Sherry tries the boot out of midair. It falls the way of Doverston. His kick is smothered. 6 around the footy again. They're piling on. Sharon can't squeeze out anywhere. Tristan Sherry tried almost the Lindsay Thomas there from a few years ago. So a ball up in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. They trail by 12.
Up it goes. in their attacking zone. Callaghan gets there first of the Giants, and his kick finds Stringer.
It's an easy out.
On the defensive 50. The package flares it wide here. Dropped by Cadman, not so easy that time. He's run down from behind by Toby Pink, up against the boundary line. Daniels onto it now for the Giants. Shares it with the flying Finn. Callaghan, his kick goes straight to Griffin Logue, who intercepts at left half back for North Melbourne. 23 gone, third term. It's now with Parker. 16 disposals for the former Swan. Finds Larkey in the corridor. There's the entry again from the captain, and running onto it, Darling spills the grab, has some pressure in the form of Angwin. Ball bounces towards the boundary line. Darling wraps him up. It's locked in there. Umpire says holding the ball. And it will be indeed tackler rewarded. So Angwin sort of held the ball in. And it was a non-controlling umpire that came from a fair way away. And Jack Darling will have the set shot here from deep in that right forward pocket.
Oh, another midfield transition offence from Luke Parker, setting it all up. But Angwin's pretty unlucky there, going to ground and having the ball underneath you. The rule just says it's going to be holding the ball if you can't get it out.
And Jack Darling will attempt either a right foot check side or a left foot snap. Opens up the angle, does go the banana, floats right across the face of goal, hits the behind post. No further score, Your Honour. The Giants 10-10-70, North Melbourne 8-10-58, 24 gone third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
I feel like as you're calling that, Spriggy, you're still trying to work out what he was going to do with the kick himself, Darling.
3 shots at goal tonight for 0 points, 0 goals for Jack Darling. Giants get it to half-back, then kick it off the ground from Cornelio. Zurha is at half-back, picks it up, handball to Daniel, 1-2, kicks it deep inside 50. Looking for a big grab, Larkey under it. Nice spoil from Laverde, but the umpire says it was across the shoulder. Chopping of the arm, and Nick Larkey will get a shot. It'll be his 4th goal if he can put it through. They trail by 12 right now, the Kangaroos, and Larkey will kick from about 38 metres on a slide angle.
Feels like a lot of free kicks inside North's forward 50 tonight.
It's often those type of free kicks too, isn't it? It's the holding in the marking contest. Larkey's the only one causing problems down there.
Larkey's good at impressions. He kicks for goal. He's doing his best impression of a key forward tonight. 4 goals to Nick Larkey. 70 plays, 64. A 1-goal game. Giants 10-10-70. Kangaroos 9-10-64 on ABC Sport.
Really solid game from the skipper so far in Larkey, and that's the thing. I mentioned the free kicks for North Melbourne, but what they do is play really attacking and dangerous, and they're willing to send it into those contests. And if you go in there often enough and create enough opportunities for your tools like Larkey and Trembath and Curtis, something good's going to happen. And tonight it feels like a lot of free kicks for them.
It's an interesting play for North because you do want Larkey to probably be that deeper forward so you can keep going to him because he does look the most likely, but you take him out of that play sort of around centre half forward where he's been getting the ball and sending it inside 50. He's the connector, but he's also the one that you want to be in there at the moment. So, interesting play for North.
299 goals in North colours for Nick Larkey. They win the clearance here. The visitors, Sheasel's kick high towards right half forward. Spargo was held by Whitfield. Umpire says play on. It bounces down here back to Whitfield. Little hand pass off to Harvey Thomas, who can't keep it alive up against that boundary line in front of the old Jack Fingleton scoreboard. There was a free kick here for a hold, which will go the way of Harvey Thomas. Comes back inboard to find Toby Green. Didn't go 15, play on, all the way back, and Toby Green's kick bounces out of bounds. So last disposal out of bounds. North ball from just forward of the wing out of side. Giants lead by 6 points.
Dylan Stevens kicks inboard to the smooth mover, LDU. Davies Uniacke has time to look around to his left instead. He's going to go long inside 50. Trembath there. Sherry was at the front. He tapped it down. Toby Green first to react. Picks it up, throws it on the boot. 2-on-2. Big one. Massive contest on the half-forward flank for North Melbourne, and they win it. So they'll come inside 50 again. Daniel to Sheasel. Goes long. Madden was in the hole. Larkey came late and chopped the ball. Umpire was okay. And the crowd didn't agree. Spin around from Spargo. Still in North Melbourne's possession. Only just, though. They keep getting tackled and the ball comes free. Dylan Stevens off the ground. A shot at goal from 35. Harvey Thomas waiting there. And he handballs it to Laverde. He kicks it outside 50. Waiting there, Jesse Hogan.
Paddles it away here to his teammate Bedford. And he was too quick for Caleb Daniel. Floats the hand pass forward. Out in some space now is Whitfield from the members' side on the wing. Goes towards 50. Daniels marks will test his distance. Lays off the hand pass to Toby Green. Over the top. He pops it there in the space there. The call was there for the Kangaroos. Trying to find Gothard or Cadman was Toby Green, but it's mopped up by Logan defence and now Powell, and the Kangaroos are away. Daniel marks at left half back, hand pass off to Parker, and it stays with Spargo on the commentary wing.
Needed to have the shot, Toby Green. Clear shot on goal from, could have run about 35.
Too unselfish. Spargo finds Curtis, who looks around. Trembath's free. They're one out. Every Giants defender is getting forward on the one ahead, and it means they're out defensively under a bit of pressure. Nick Madden, half a smother, still goes inside 50. Big tackle inside 50 from Sherry. Ball comes free. Iden is there. Panic kick out. Curtis is waiting 60 metres away from goal for North. Lowers the eyes. Darting kick inside 50, and LDU is appealing for a high contact. He dropped the mark. The umpire keeps the whistle away. It'll be a ball up right in front of the sticks, 40 metres away from the North goal. They trail by a solitary major. We've played 29 minutes of the third quarter.
Closest game of the round so far in a weekend of blowouts. And it comes here. Spargo ran front on into Toby Green, and the umpire says, give it to me for a ball up. Let's head Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Just briefly, physio is with Xavier O'Halloran. It looks like he's got a right groin adductor issue that he's struggling with.
And last we checked, an ankle complaint for George Wardlaw. Thanks, Adam, on the North bench. So Core works it all the way back for Parker, for the most offensive player on the ground here for North Melbourne. Kick goes wide to Dylan Stevens, the left footer, high ball inside 50. Trembath was pushed. Umpire says play on. It comes along ground level there to Toby Green, right as the three-quarter time siren sounds. So a tightly contested game this in the final fixture of round 7 here on ABC Sport. The Giants lead by a solitary goal, 10-10-70 to North Melbourne's 9-10-64. The goal kickers for the home side, Cadman and Hogan each with 2. Singles for Thomas, Gothard, Stringer, Lekalia, Brent Daniels and Toby Green, who hit the scoreboard in that third term. Meanwhile, for the Kangaroos, their skipper Nick Larkey has 4 goals to go with 15 disposals. Singles to Simpkin, Doveston, Curtis, Wardlaw and Spargo. Across ABC Radio, ABC Sport Digital and indeed ABC Listen, this is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
She's gotten worse. Lots of anger.
Ursula Carlson, No Filters, brand new comedy.
She's contracted early onset Karen.
Ursula starts Wednesday, April 29 on ABC TV and ABC iView. This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Cornelio marks, handballs to Green, another inside 50 for Toby Green, and taking the grab 40 metres out right in front is Harvey Thomas. Number 1 on his back, and he gets the number 1 goal of the third quarter. And the Giants kick ahead.
As another free kick's been picked out to go the Giants' way this time. Advantage is paid as it's picked up by Toby Green. He snaps it through. So he does hit the scoreboard here, Toby Green.
Comes to Oliver, quick hands, most contested possessions in the comp plate in Oliver this year. Oh, what a tackle! A bump on Ash as he was going to kick it from Sherry. It falls the way of Simpkin, and he makes them pay. And they get over to Sherry. Ryan Angwin wastes no time on his left foot, has the lead of Cadman. Second grab in front of Pink. Marks just inside 50 on a very tight angle. Aaron Cadman from 50 metres against the boundary line. He kicked 4 last year against North, and he's getting going tonight with his second. Looking for a big grab, Larkey under it. Nice spoil from Laverde, but the umpire says it was across the shoulder. Chopping of the arm, and Nick Larkey will get a shot. It'll be his 4th goal if he can put it through. Larkey's good at impressions. He kicks for goal. He's doing his best impression of a key forward tonight. 4 goals to Nick Larkey.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
North Melbourne led by 7 points at quarter time. It was scores level at the major break, and now the Giants lead by a goal at the final change here at Canberra's Manuka Oval. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Declan Byrne. Our experts on ABC Sport are Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
Well, the arm wrestle in terms of momentum of the game continued. I thought that through that quarter, it was instead of one team probably dominating the quarter, it was a bit more the first half of the quarter. The Giants probably had the momentum and looked like they might be able to break away. Cadman was starting to look a little bit dangerous up forward, and I think the Giants got out to a couple of goal lead. But through the back end of the quarter, it was definitely all North Melbourne again. They were winning the ball through the middle of the ground. They were sending it in. Nick Larkey's the one for me that looks the most dangerous. He was sending them inside 50 on numerous occasions, but when he was the man that was on the end of it inside 50, we were able to see him get that shot on goal. So the game hasn't changed too much. I think there's one thing that certainly popped up tactically that we spoke about half-time, Lauren, that I know you want to touch on, that changed the way the game's looking for the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a lot about whether it's Spargo that goes to Lockie Ash after the impact he had in that first half, easily being the best player on the ground. And we saw Jai Simpkin go to him at the start of the third quarter and kept Lockie Ash to only the 3 touches for that quarter, which has changed the tsunami style of play and that delivery inside 50. And really, the Giants' goals not coming from transition in that quarter. They came from stoppage when we saw Daniels go inside as a high half forward and then get out the back. So I'm really looking forward to it. No doubt North stick with that Simpkin tag on Ash. It does mean they're somewhat of a forward down, but they have to put that pressure on and stop that Giants transition score. Wardlaw out of the game is going to hurt North Melbourne if that's the case. It looks like an ankle. And I thought Nick Madden had some big moments in that at the back end of that quarter too, where he had to make some key decisions to come forward and defend in his back half, and had a real impact late in that quarter.
By the way, earlier today, St Kilda beat West Coast by 101 points at Docklands, and the Brisbane Lions beat Adelaide by 52 at the Gabba. That means the average margin across the round so far has been 55 points. So beyond the game last night, Freo Carlton, which was 14 points. This is certainly the closest of all those. Hopefully we're in for a good finish to close out round 7. Anzac appeal round here on ABC Sport. But a game up for grabs very much so here. 0437 774 774. Fran says thanks for the call. Enjoying this game. Hogan doing well. And he's kicked 2 goals. He's Fran's favourite, Jesse Hogan. Who's his? Young Rock, travelling from Broken Hill to Sydney from the state school swimming. Loving the comments from Sato. Go Giants.
Oh, Young
There
Rock.
we go. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Joe the Crow from Canberra. Enjoying the coverage, folks. Keep it up. A question for the Brains Trust. Port, huge win and 6-day break. Crows get belted today and have a 5-day break. Who is favourite on Friday night for the showdown?
Cannot wait for the showdown on Friday night. I'm loving this game, and I'm glad we got the close one this round. But the showdown Friday night, Port are absolutely prime, and Josh Carr's first showdown as senior coach. If there's anyone from Port Adelaide that dislikes Adelaide more, I'd like to find them, because Josh has history.
Yeah.
I know those boys will be ready.
Which naturally, that game goes head-to-head with the Bulldogs Freo game. So we have the 2 Friday night games,
Isn't it?
Yeah, just like the Sydney Sydney Derby last week. So anyway, bit of a showdown here as well in the last quarter. And also, Lauren Arnell did mention as well, she saw a replay of that Jai Simpkin hit on Lockie Ash.
Yeah, what do you think?
Third term. So I didn't see it myself, but you said it was consistent with other cases we've seen recently where an arm is swung rather than just a simple body check, and maybe there might be a case to answer.
We saw 2 Hawthorn players last week with the little body check when it could have been a shoulder, and instead it was a little fist in the tummy.
So we'll see if anything to come there for Jai Simpkin as we get things back underway. The final term in the Sunday twilight, early evening here in Canberra, as Leclerc flies against Tristan Sherry. It's wrapped up in the middle. The umpire says, give it to me again. The Giants by 6 points. Goes Sherry, kicks it out of the ruck, tumbled toward full forward. Had to meet the footy Zerha. Sort of tapped on here now, but Ash is onto it first for the Giants. Brought to ground by Spargo. It's a ball up, 25 out from North's attacking goal at the Cathedral end.
North a 4-2 start this year, but everyone's saying these next 5 weeks are their test. Can they prove that they are the real deal in 2026? Their next 5 games, so including tonight, they've got the Giants tonight, and they've got the Cats, Swans, Crows and Suns. If they can win tonight, get to 5, be in the top 4. Wow. Tristan Sherry out of the ruck, down to a sprinting Wardlaw, it spills loose. Curtis off the ground. North Melbourne get the first. Scores are level. We've played a minute in the fourth quarter. It was a little bit lucky, but he will take it. Paul Curtis, 2 goals tonight. 10-10-70 to 10-10-70. Good start from North here on ABC Sport.
We'll get off the ruck work of Cherry. He's dangerous with what he can do with the footy around the ground. He pops it down just into a dangerous space, back into corridor. And I mean, there was 2 Giants midfielders. I think it was Whitfield that it was, or was it Himmelberg?
Oliver.
There was a couple of blocks in there. It was fantastic from North. They got free, and then he was just able to get gold side of Himmelberg, I think it was. Curtis. Great work from North. Probably poor defensive checking from the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants looked like they were at least +2 at that stoppage to let a goal through. They won't be happy.
Scores level again. Back in the middle, Sherry wrapped up by Lekalia. Paul Curtis had just a 17% win rate across his career so far. It gives you an idea of how dire things have been for North players the past several years. Oliver had an arm pinned but got the kick away for the Giants. Tumbles towards half forward. Cabin. He was tangled up down there with Toby Pink. Ricochets away here for Brent Daniels. Turns blind, comes back into the corridor for Toby Green. He takes a chest mark, plays on the skipper from 25 on the run. Slots it. The Giants get the immediate reply. The captain's goal from Toby Green in his 4th term. 11-10-76 the Giants. That's his second, by the way. North Melbourne 10-10-70. 2.5 played. Final quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Your experts Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
Well, Sadho, again, it was Brent Daniels heavily involved in the scoring opportunity. But what I love is the Harvey Thomas ground ball to get the footy to Daniels. That's a crucial one. If you lose that ground ball at half forward, it's going back the other way and you're in trouble. But we saw Toby Green leave a similar opportunity out there in the third quarter. He wasn't leaving that one. It was a really nice finish from the captain.
There's another milestone waiting for him as well. So 6 goals now to reel in Jezza Cameron for the most goals for the Giants. Might not do it tonight. And he's making it hard for himself this year in the middle. But 2 goals and 22 touches for Green. Here's another clearance for Green. Out of the centre square, and he just gets tackled as he kicked it. So skews along the ground. Could work. Chaos ball. North have numbers, and Aiden Core extracts it, kicks it out towards half-back. Cam Zerha first to meet it. I think he might have moved forward. Himmelberg's on him. So is that the play from Clarkson? Kick out in front of Wardlaw. They go deep inside 50 to the one-on-one over the back. Dersma, joined by a teammate at the last second. Was it a foot on it? He was trying to almost wheel his foot back, Simpkin. He was running too fast for it. It was touched over. So we're back to a 5-point ball game. They will check it, I think. No, it's been paid. So behind, 76 plays 71, 4 minutes into the 4th.
Giants by 5 as Lockie Ash on his 23rd disposal of the game comes beyond defensive 50, and Toby Green, the contested grab with McKercher. And very well. Centering ball was just there for Daniels, who was reaching it full stretch. And now he finds Oliver, middle of Manuka Oval in Canberra. And he's off his mark here, called to play on. High ball towards half forward. Bedford with the sit on Sherry. Doesn't pull in the grab. It comes down towards Lekalia. Tumbles a high ball towards a vacant square. It'll bounce wrong side of the post. Minus score. And the crowd was up, weren't they, with Bedford at half forward. But that's a minus score for Lekalia. 6-point margin the Giants' way. 77 plays 71. 4 minutes played. Final term.
Luke Parker. Game 3-2-2 today, kicks to Curtis, and now to O'Sullivan. North Melbourne at half-back.
Like the move for Zerha to go forward. It's bullish from Clarkson. If you're going to win the game, win it well.
Uh-oh, they turned it over at half-back. The handball was errant. Finds Oliver. He looks wide. Whitfield. And they have an open 50. He can pick whoever he wants. Canelio marks. He looks forward. Stringer's also free in the left forward pocket, so he hits him up. Costly turnover from North Melbourne. Just 70 from goal. They'd set up ahead of the ball. And unfortunately for North Melbourne fans, Jake Stringer will line up for goal from 40 metres. He'll swing around on his right foot, gets the bend, gets it good. Jake Stringer has his second. And they skip out to a 12-point lead, 12-11-83, 10-11-71. We've played 5.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. We've already seen 3 goals, Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
Talked a little bit about maturity in the second and third quarter and the challenge for North Melbourne here in Canberra. That all the games they've won this year have been at Marvel Stadium, and watch the start of this fourth, and I'm absolutely loving the experience from the Giants. Just step up. So Clayton Oliver's had the footy 4 times. Toby Green's had it 3 times and had 96 metres gained and a goal. And Brent Daniels involved in 2 scores as well. I'm really, really important for the senior players to step up. And now for North Melbourne, it's time.
And typical Jakey Stringer as well. He probably fresh-aired a chest mark in the goal square a second ago, but that one there, he likes the harder one so you can run around and snap it.
Giants by 12. Restart back in the middle. Aaliyah just rises above Sherry. Taps it down there for Oliver. Paddled away there for Stringer. He was held briefly by Davies-Uniacke. Umpire lets them play. They wrestle there at half-forward. Davies-Uniacke breaks a tackle. Hand pass off to Spargo. Onto it goes Davies-Uniacke again. Off to McDonald. And he's brought to ground by Halloran. Footy keeps moving though. Curtis off to Spargo who bursts by. Shares it now. Goal side to Simpkins. Still 55 out. Fires on goal here, the former skipper. And it's just offline and bouncing through for a minor score. Good chains from both sides. Either end here. And North have a minor score, so 11 points is the Giants' lead. 6 make it 7 minutes played here in the final term at Manuka Oval.
It has become an end-to-end game. I don't know if that's what North want, to be honest. I think the Giants might be a little bit better at that sort of game.
Lockie Ash out of the goal square. Touch number 24. Drop mark from Madden puts Giants under pressure. Sherry tackles. Ball comes free and then the handball is errant. Turnover again. Middle of the ground. Thomas to Oliver. Looks wide. Has Toby Green against the centre square. Just 4 to halfway. Brilliant tackle. Luke Davies-Uniacke. Oh, they don't pay the free kick. The ball came loose and it's gone the way of the Giants. Brent Daniels kicks to the goal square. Aaliyah was one-on-one against Pink. And the fist came through from Toby Pink, who was the late in. Gee, LDU not rewarded for that tackle on Green. We'll have a ball up in the left forward pocket for the Giants. They lead by 11. We've played 8 minutes.
Even the one on Nick Madden, I thought could have been holding the ball. North did win the ball back, but then coughed it up themselves.
Great finish coming up to this game and the round. Angwin for the Giants. First hand Stewart. Hogan's hand pass almost intercepted. Sheasel, second effort, goes off the ground. It'll fall there for Ash. Was it 15? Yes, says the umpire. Lockie Ash just puts the hand up to slow things down at half forward for the Giants.
You just wonder how dewy it is out there. We know Canberra can get pretty cold once the sun sets. And there's been a few fumbled ground balls in this quarter.
We saw Toby just before, didn't we? Half forward here. It just looked like a slippery ball.
Adam Shirley mentioned that. He's got a local knowledge on the boundary, so it might get a little bit dewy later in the game. Lockie Ash lining up here for a rare goal for the defender, and he misses the left-hand side. So the Giants lead by 12 points. 12-12 plays 10-12 here, 9 gone final term.
It's a 2-goal game. Colby McKercher on that left foot out towards Luke McDonald, who stutters and stops. No one comes to him, so he has some time. Chooses to handball up the wing. And the kick eventually comes in the direction of Powell. Cutting it off is James Leake. Get this for a stat. James Leake, it's his 5th game, 5 different venues.
Can play. And can play. He's had some really strong contests in this game for such a young player.
Tasmanian,
yeah, might be at the Devils with McKercher.
Back in it comes. Sherry palms it down there, only as far as Daniels. Gives it off to Angwin. Clearance goes the way of the Giants. Up inside 50. Hogan competes with Logue. Paddled away there again for the Giants. It comes to Hannaford, who tumbles it towards the hot spot. Too deep for Aaliyah. Bursting wide. Thomas competes with Spargo. And it goes through for a minor score at the pool end. That's the north end of Manuka Oval. Giants by 13. I think it's their biggest lead of the game so far. 10 minutes played, final term here on ABC Sport.
Pool just outside the ground, unfortunately, not like the new Wacker, which has the water slide and the pool in the ground.
All the grounds in Saturday's Day that had the pool inside the playing surface sometimes with the old drainage.
Caleb Daniel 1-2 out of half-back with Sheasel. He chips a kick beyond half-back to Curtis. A few metres in from the boundary. Swings around on his left. Trembath leaps. Doesn't get it. Does he grab it on second go? It came off Buckley anyway, and he's tackled to the ground by Green. Holding that 13-point lead, the home side, the Giants here in Canberra, their second home. First game of the year for them on this turf. North have a winning record at Manuka. Big game tonight, big last 20 minutes here. We've played 10. Sherry out of the ruck, spills loose. O'Halloran first to pick up the spare footy. Kicks it forward, it's a one-on-one. Call v Stringer, they wrestle. Stringer with strength, runs onto the footy. Kick for goal! Jake Stringer's having one of his best games for the Giants. He's kicked 3, 2 of them in this final term. The biggest lead of the game for the Giants right now. 19 points. A one-on-one win at half forward. And he used his pace. 91 plays 72. We've played 11 minutes here. And the final term, ABC Sports Sunday Footy.
It's experience again, and I'm loving Toby Green's last quarter. He held it up so that there was a back half stoppage, and we've seen Giants score a bit in this second half from back half stoppage, and just the encouragement to O'Halloran to kick the ball. And we've seen earlier in the game where there's moments they just want a handball. We've talked about it's getting a bit dewy, and just watching Toby Green, he's ordering O'Halloran to kick long to Stringer there, and you would not want to be in Aidan Corr's shoes, one out with Stringer, with that much space around you, and another super finish.
The voice of AFLW pioneer, inaugural Carlton captain and premiership winner for the Brisbane Lions, Lauren Arnell. Finn O'Sullivan, hand pass, couldn't clear. Knocked back there towards Sheasel. Sweeps it wide by hand to Stevens. Sheasel receives it back here for his 26th disposal. Going inside 50. It missed its target. Mopped up by Callaghan for the Giants. Comes back here now for Trembath. Left the footy behind. In goes Doverston. Had Angwin for company. He was taken high, Doverston. So a free kick for North Melbourne. 45 out directly in front.
A much needed free kick too. They do need a steadier North if they're going to hang in the game. It's a big kick.
Lockie Doverston, a first round pick in the most recent draft. Debuted in round 1. Only recalled to the side last week. There's a key moment, a key goal potentially for North Melbourne. In he comes, gives it everything from 52, a little man. It'll drop there and just knocked over for a minor score on the right hand side. So a margin is 18 points the Giants' way. 13-13 plays 10-13, and guess what? We've played 13 minutes in this final term as well.
Whitfield to Laverde, takes the mark, sends it up the wing. Hogan just overran it. Loose ball, Angwin. Smart handball, even smarter touch from O'Halloran, who paddles it on, but then they miss a handball, the Giants on the wing. So they turn it over. Dangerous spot. Logue to Stevens, to Daniel, back to Stevens. Chip kick inboard, Sheasel. He's neat in the back, so he dropped the mark. It was all fair. Still the way of North. Sheasel gets it off LDU. Caleb Daniel on his right foot sees a man in space. It is Jack Darling. How did they not man up on him at the top of the 50? Parker runs past him, shoots for goal from 48 metres. Luke Parker. They needed that one, North Melbourne. And we are back to a 2-goal game. Luke Parker having probably his best year in 3 or 4 years here. Off half back, creeps forward for an important goal. 13-13, 91 to 11-13, 79. Giants up by 12. Lauren Arnell, Jason Saddington on ABC Sport.
You talk about experience stepping up for the Giants. Well, there it is for North. Caleb Daniel was a lovely hit inside, and then Parker with the finish. Big time players stepping up at the right moments. North thoroughly needed that, and probably off a little bit of luck too. The Giants messed around with the footy in the middle. They've had so much advantage in the front half. You mentioned the ball's getting slippery and they just got to throw it on the boot. Well, they tried to play around with the footy again, then the Giants, they messed it up and they pay the price. Luke Parker with the experience. You mentioned great season, great finish. Just what they needed to stay in the game.
Luke Parker loves the game against the Giants. As I mentioned, a 5-time Brett Kirk medalist in Sydney Derbies. Giants win the clearance though. Callaghan thumps it high up inside 50. Too deep for Cadman. It's crumbed by Halloran. Kicks high towards the goal square himself here. This might bounce through. Logue was trying to reach for it. Might have missed it. So Halloran with a very effective shot for goal, which looked more in hope than anything else. The Giants respond again. Very, very suddenly.
Logue's claiming he touched it.
So he's claiming he touched it. So I think he just made a gesture like, I swear, I'm
on his
not
heart.
lying, on my heart. He sort of tapped his chest. He's a nice guy, Griffin Logue, in the Perth Hills. Halloran with that shot. So we'll see a front on here on that. Oh, if he didn't touch it, it makes him look even more silly, because he should have, if he got separation on Hogan. I don't see a deviation, and it bounced above his head, so I reckon it's gone through for a goal. And I think the umpire does as well. They're looking at this in the background, Loz, but
I think he might have got it on the second attempt. As it bounced up.
Bouncing up away from him,
Might be a little fingernail in that, but they've gone back to the centre bounce.
Would be a decisive moment, so we'll get confirmation one way or the other. We have seen the ball go back to the kick out previously in situations like this.
So he had 3 goes at it. First when it bounced, then its second go, and then maybe does he give himself away because he goes a third time beyond the goal?
That's good. Yeah, it's a good point.
Can we talk about centre ball ups while we're waiting?
Yep.
Because for the game, North Melbourne are 14-8 wins, and in this last quarter, the Giants have won a couple of important ones. Looks like they're starting to trend back to kicking.
That's right. It did touch his left hand, so there was some slight deviation on his very first touch. So there you go. It will be a minor score. A key moment in the game here.
Oh, no.
Hang on. No.
I'm with you.
He's definitely touched that.
I'm with you. The first touch.
And I took some convincing, but he's definitely touched that, and they have not paid a behind, instead a goal. The Giants lead by 18 points.
North get the clearance though here. Can they get one back straight away from 49 metres? Flying shot on goal.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what they say upstairs. North bring that back, and it's Finn O'Sullivan. Out of the middle, goal from 49. The Finfluencer does well, and it cuts the lead back to 12. It was quicker then from the centre ball up to goal than it was for the whole look at Griffin Logs.
And that's 15-8 centre ball up wins for North Melbourne, and they score heavily from it. You'd almost rather the behind. If you're the Giants, at least you can then set the ground up and defend.
Yep. 14-13, 97, 12-13, 85. Giants have that 12-point lead. We've played 17 minutes in the final term.
We just seen 3 goals in about a minute.
Yeah. That's the modern game, Sado.
I like it.
Goal for Finn O'Sullivan. Still just 19 years of age, back from the broken jaw this evening.
What'd you call him? The Finfluencer.
The Finfluencer.
Finfluencer.
What's his game on social media? What is he?
He's just good. I wanted to see Finn Callahan be Finn O'Sullivan. I reckon O'Sullivan has it tonight. 21 touches.
A Finn off.
Yeah.
Who can finish on top?
Finn Callahan's only had 18. That's quiet by his standards. He had 31 and a goal against them last year.
You normally see his explosiveness running carry, don't you? Haven't seen any of it tonight.
23rd birthday today for Finn Callahan. He was good on his birthday a couple of years ago on the Anzac Day weekend. Here he gets a hand pass away. Off to O'Halloran. Hand pass off here to Gothard. Oliver running by. Ash as well. Spargo reaching, brings him down. He's got the hand pass away though. Ash to Cadman, who turns and snaps from distance. It comes back and it's through. Well, it was a despairing jump on the line from Luke McDonald, but Aaron Cadman with a finish on the run for his 3rd goal tonight. And the Giants get one back again. Back out to 18 points. 15-13, 103 to 12-13, 85. Margin 18. We've played 19 minutes in this final term. Sunday footy here on ABC Sport with Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
You're loving that if you're Cadman, aren't you? And if you're a 10-year-old kid and your favourite player, we saw a kid before the game, we were talking off air, the announcer asked a young person who their favourite Giants player is, and they said Tani Evans. But if you haven't got the jumper number on your back, I'd be saying Aaron Cadman. He's kicked the 3, and that one is an absolute specky on the left from close to the boundary. It's such an important part of the game. It might have just put North away. Am I calling it too early?
They're throwing everything back at the Giants, aren't they? Keep responding, but somehow the Giants keep throwing it back at them.
Ball hoisted up into the air. Lecalier, big tap forward. That goes 20 metres. Gothard is there on half forward. Tries to gather it. Can't. LDU had clean hands for North, and they start their chain from half back. Through Sheasel. Caleb Daniel. Inside 50. Larkey looming. Buckley pushed him out of the contest. Went over the back. Hits the turf. Jumping up is Leake. Handballs to Iden. Gives it off to Whitfield in their D50. Back to Iden. His kick is not neat. Parker on the ground. Tries to paddle it to a teammate. It comes back to his lap. He hops up. Dishes it wide. Hard up against the boundary line is Caleb Daniel. Huge leap. Lockie Ashett goes way over the top of him. Almost unrealistic. He didn't touch it. Connor Iden marked it. No damage done. Giants remain 18 up through 20 minutes of this final term.
Ash shrugs the contact there of Curtis, comes beyond defensive 50, and Callahan marks at centre half back for GWS. Call to play on now. On his preferred left side, it was run down from behind. Great work by Wardlaw. He balks, and now he runs straight into James Leake. Ball comes loose here for Larkey. Paddles it away there in the direction of Sheasel. He gets there in the contact of Ash, brought to ground. The umpire says, give it to me. On the Manuka Oval centre wicket here. In that middle part of the ground. Giants by 18 points, 21 gone final term.
What a game on our hands. 3 goals the difference, but goals are being scored very quickly. We're on the north attacking side of halfway in the centre square, and they get the clearance out the defensive side, and then it's a big barrel. Long inside 50. This will take some marking over the back. It fell in the lap. It went over 4 or 5, and the barrel works. The mark is taken by Jack Darling, who will kick from 42 metres out directly in front. Unorthodox, might work. So Jack Darling has not had his kicking boots on tonight. He's had 3 shots for goal. We've had a behind post, an out in the full, and a full short. They need this, North Melbourne. Past the paint from 40 metres. Kicks it. Yes, it's a goal. And he looks up to the heavens to say, finally, 2-goal game. 15-13, 103 to 13-13, 91. 12 points the difference. 21 minutes have elapsed in this final term here at Manuka. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Just when you think it's over, North come back.
You got to love the confidence of Luke Parker, don't you? To just go, yeah, I'm gonna kick a barrel here from just back of centre and send it inside 50. I mean, for most of us, if you try that, it goes anywhere, and it could be a horrendous result. But I mean, that's the way he's playing his footy this year, isn't he? Full of confidence. And you know, playing like he wants to win the match and do something for North to get him across the line. And it's a different play, but it worked for them. It covered the contest, and it fell into the lap of Darling, who finished. North hanging in there.
Still about 9 minutes of actual game time left here. So 22 gone, final term. Back in the middle, Sherry and Aaliyah. O'Sullivan tracks it there for the Kangaroos. Off to Sheasel bursting by. On the lead, Curtis Marks 55 from goal. And the umpire forces Connor Iden back as he oversteps. Sheasel got a push as well from Clayton Oliver as the ball came wide to him. So a free kick for North Melbourne. 45 from goal in the left forward pocket as the Giants lead by 12 points.
Great push from Sheasel. We knew he had Oliver. It's like, I'm going to sprint inside 50, take him for a run. You're probably going to have him for foot speed.
Harry Sheasel now leads all comers in the game with 30 disposals. 3 clearances and 3 inside 50s. 5 score involvements. This would be a handy one. Harry Sheasel to cut it back to a goal the margin. He crosses the 50. Opens up, big right foot kick. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. Oh, they love Harry Sheasel, and why not? The vice-captain for the Kangaroos gets it back to a 6-point ball game. 24 gone final term. The Giants have 15-13, 103. The Kangaroos 14-13, 97 on ABC Sport, your experts. Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington.
Such a classy player, Harry Sheasel, and you called it really well, Sado. Just made the move when he needed to, and the space was there for him to tick inside 50. And I'm liking the pluckiness of North Melbourne. I've been talking a lot about the winds coming at Marvel and different conditions here in Canberra, and I reckon the Giants have given them everything to think about, and North just keep on coming. They keep holding to the game style. I love how direct they are. They're not backing down, and it bodes well for a strong finish here.
That's probably the key for North. Whether they win or lose this game in the end, it's the progress you can see in a team that's kept fighting here and give themselves a shot.
Clearance the way of the Giants. Clayton Oliver was good. They send it forward. It goes over the back. Parker's there trying to reach it. Couple of Giants first there, though. It's spilled. It's slippery. It's dewy. Half a kick towards top of the centre square. Aidan Corr was there. He spilt the mark, but cleaning up was LDU. Handball comes forward to Finn O'Sullivan. Balks around Whitfield. Goes back to LDU on his right foot. Tight kick up the line. Too tight. And Larky's annoyed. He was up there on his own. They had the get out of jail kick, and it couldn't find its target. So Lockie Ash will bring it back in next to the interchange bench. Giants lead by a goal.
One of those games where every moment and kick matters. Ash goes deep inside 50 for the Giants. Logue from behind on Hogan. Corr slaps it away here in the advantage of Tom Powell. High hurried ball up towards half-back for the Kangaroos. Parked under it, Larky got the spoil from Buckley. Poked through by Simpkin, intercepted by Whitfield. The Giants back away here through Toby Green. He retreats all the way back to Himmelberg, who's just on the defensive side of halfway. Off to Daniels, who was unmarked. Too quick for Simpkin. Puts the Giants back inside 50. Cadman leaps up from behind. No mark paid. Gothard bursts through now. Got the tackle of Curtis. Ball rolls into the pocket. First to it now, Logue. Had the arm pinned by Stringer. And the umpire says, let's throw it back in at left full forward for the Giants. They lead by 6 points. 26 gone. Final turn. They're showing replays of that Griffin Logue touch that wasn't deemed a touch, which could decide the game. Get to Adam Shirley very shortly.
Ball spun in. Madden v Sherry comes down the way of North. Parker first there. He escapes the contest and just kicks it out to a vacant half-back flank. The Giants arrive first. It's with Jack Buckley. He looks inboard 50. Backing back, taking the mark under serious pressure. Ollie Hannaford, the youngster who's had a quiet game, but this could be a big moment for him. He'll kick for goal just inside 50. Slide angle, a brave mark.
It was. He's lucky he didn't know what was coming behind him. It was a couple of Giants players almost took him out. Strong mark, big moment for young fella.
19 years of age, a first-round draft pick in 2024. Had lots of injuries last year, so had to wait for his Giants debut until this year. Against the Pies, Ollie Hannaford from 49 metres. Out to the right, and importantly, it is 0 points, doesn't register a score. The margin remains a goal. Just over 5 minutes left in this final quarter. Giants 103, Kangas 97.
So Griffin Logue kicks it back in. Long beyond defensive 50. Lucky in the contest with Buckley. Bursting by Davies Uniacke, and he couldn't kick control of the ball, so it's out of bounds for a throw-in in front of the Tom Green fan club. And the old Jack Fingleton scoreboard. Well, the last thing Andrew Dillon or Craig Drummond need is a game decided by a dodgy arc decision. Of course, they at least had the benefit of replays with the goal review technology. It was clear on about the 5th or 6th replay anyway that Griffin Logue had touched that ball. If that decides the game, that would be not a good scenario, as Sherry is played into the deck by the much smaller Hannaford. Umpire will ball it up. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Just quickly, Finn O'Callaghan's off the last minute or so, looking very gingy. He's getting his right calf worked on at the moment.
Clearance the way of the Giants. Madden gets the handball. Nice, clever grubber kick from Toby Green inside 50. He says, Bedford, go get it. He does. Caleb Daniel wears him, tackles him over the boundary line. Oh, every possession at the moment is hard to be won, and it's inside the Giants' attacking arc. Ball is going to be spun in. North have been better in the centre bounce clearances. Around the ground, Nick Madden's doing really well. He's up against Sherry here. Sherry taps it towards his defensive goal. Daniel picks it up. Quick handball. Stevens. He handballs to LDU. Oliver tackled him. Umpire gave him a whole quarter to get rid of it, and eventually pays the free kick. I think the crowd might have helped that. The free kick will go the way of Brent Daniel, and it will be from about 40 metres. He will start his run up from outside the field of play.
You'd think he'll take as much time off the clock as he possibly can with this set shot, and experience from Green in the build-up play prior. Just that grubber kick inside 50. You know, if something doesn't work out offensively, you're at least getting a stoppage and still taking more time off the clock.
Brent Daniels, huge moment. Can he even just register a point? No, he can't. Kicks it to the behind line. It touches hands and goes out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Giants. I mean, it's good and bad for North. Maybe a point they get the ball, but then they're down by 7. It stays in the attacking arc for the Giants here, though, who lead by 6. We've got 4 minutes on the clock. Set for a thriller here at Monica.
About to hit the half-hour mark. Now it comes here. Bedford. Handball picked up by Stevens for the Kangaroos. Sherry. Handball goes to Gothard. Back to Daniels, who recovers it and snaps and curls it around. Hits the posts. So Daniels does kick it behind here. They lead by more than a goal. Giants by 7 at the half-hour mark of the final term here in Canberra.
Luke Parker plays on, thought about the barrel. Didn't do it on first option, did on the second, and it was a wobbly barrel. It was the type of torpedo that Sato was talking about. That one lands in the hands of Ash on the bullseye, and he slows it right down. They want to take the air out of this game. Kicks it laterally to Whitfield. He has no one in front of him, but keeps the movement going anyway. It's an inside 50, collected by Hogan. Handball to Hannaford. He's tackled by McDonald. Told you Luke McDonald, game 2-2-5, draws level with Swallow and John Blakey. John Blakey, same amount of games. He's won 60 games more than Luke McDonald. Ball up inside the Giants, forward 50. They send it back towards Hannaford, who kicks it back in. High ball. Who's going to grab it? The spoil comes from the back from Logue. Still up for grabs, though. Stringer circling. He's got a few goals already tonight. Ball comes loose. Harvey Thomas in the vicinity as well. Aidan Core with a panic kick outside 50, and it lands in the North hands.
Connor Iden is firmly planted here as the Giants spare. North just have to chip it around.
McKercher has it, goes wide to Simpkin on the outer wing of Manuka Oval. Down the line now for Zerha. Marks in front of Iden. He's still 75 from goal here for North Melbourne. Wheels and goes now. Targets up inside 50. Wants to see Larkey up in front. Laverde. It rolls out the back and through for a minor score. It's back to 6 points the diff. Late in the game here in Canberra. Late in round 7 as well. What a finish coming up here on ABC Sport.
Larkey triple teamed there. He had almost no chance. It fell over the back of the contest. Nearly went through untouched for a goal. Giants breathe a sigh of relief. Their lead is a goal. Whitfield takes his time, runs out of the goal square and handballs it forward. A late hit on Laverde, who kicked it to Harvey Thomas. He marked anyway. So Giants march downfield. They have space and time. Forward kick to Bedford, who will run onto it inside 50. Toby Bedford might be the sealer. Pushes wide off the boot. 7 points the margin now. Giants lead 105-98. We've played 32 minutes. Final turn.
The man they call Snooze couldn't put the game to bed. Sato. Giants by 7. North have it now. Stevens marks in the left back pocket. Giants have won their last 4 against the Kangaroos since they had a draw in 2021 in Hobart. And this kick from Stevens goes out of bounds for a Giants ball. So that's true centre wing out of side here at Manuka. GWS have possession as it comes infield to Oliver. Giants by 7. A goal here does put the game away for them. North need the next one.
North still zoning off. If they're going to win the footy back, they have to at least take a body each and force a more contested style of play for the Giants.
Whitfield goes back to find Buckley. So they're retreating across more towards that defensive 50 here, the Giants. Buckley is just defensive side of the wing. 33 minutes played here in the final term. Kicks it back to Oliver.
It's that Bedford points just enough for the Giants to go, we've got 7 point lead. We don't have to panic or rush or do anything silly here. There's 2 kicks in it.
Finn Callahan back out there, marks on the logo, points towards the right forward flank. It's going there. A spoil over the line is $1.01, and that's what happens. So Giants chew up 60 seconds there. And that 7 point lead means North need to score twice. 33 minutes and change have been played in this final quarter. It's in the Giants' attacking half. Can they find a goal to finally seal it? Madden with the tap and the clearance, although he tried to handball to Oliver, and Powell's away for the Kangaroos. The kick up the line, escapes the one-on-one. Iden there as the extra. His handball towards the wing doesn't go out, luckily. Laverde picks it up. He's tackled over the line. And we will have a ball in. Giants still lead by 7. North would have to work a miracle from here.
North have equalised all the numbers, and the Giants defenders are begging for their forwards to come and help them out. Cadman's dropped now too. Core's gone with him.
33.5 minutes played here in Canberra. Down it comes. Sherry out the back there. Angwin there first for the Giants. Gets a hand pass away out in space. Parker first to it there for North Melbourne. Has some support in the form of O'Sullivan. He's got some open space to move as well. Finds Caleb Daniel, middle of Manuka Oval. Goes down the line here, inside 50. Buckley up in front of Larkey. It skids out in the side there for Harvey Thomas. He was run down from behind by Darling. Umpire says play on. It comes to Simpkin. Back to Zerha. He turns, high centering ball. Where's Curtis? He was outnumbered. Coming across, Callahan. The birthday boy takes the mark at fullback and protects the Giants' 7 point lead.
Finn Callahan on his left, kicks it as far as he can. Sherry's waiting there and he marks. Plays on quickly to Parker. Hands it off to Tom Powell. Spills it inside 50. The shot on goal needed to be had. The Giants pick up the loose footy, although it's still up for grabs. Missed handball from Angwin. Angwin to Oliver. Spiking it forward. Whitfield, another spike. It's a game of volleyball out there at the moment. Hogan picks it up. He doesn't kick it forward. He kicks it up in the air because he knows the siren's coming. And the Giants make roadkill of the Kangaroos at their second home at Manuka. A thriller. 7 point win to the Giants.
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking. The other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the Greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
In a game that didn't get beyond 19 points either way, North led by 7 points at quarter time. It was scores level at half time. The Giants led by just 1 goal at the final change. And in a hotly contested final term, the Giants outlast Alistair Clarkson's men. It's the Giants' 3rd win of the year, their 5th in a row against North Melbourne. Winners here by 7 points in the capital.
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking. The other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the Greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the
rest. Sometimes the scoreboard doesn't always tell the story. I feel like in this game it does. It was very tight. The Giants win 15-15, 105 to North Melbourne, 14-14, 98. It was 3 goals each for the home side for Cadman and Stringer, a couple each for Hogan, and some key goals for Toby Green in his record-breaking game. Singles for Thomas, Alier, Daniels, Gothard, and, talk about key goals, O'Halloran, whose goal was allowed despite the obvious touch from Griffin Logue, and it doesn't quite decide the game, although you can sort of have those sliding doors moments, I suppose, in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, for North Melbourne, 4 goals for Nick Larkey, the captain. 2 for Paul Curtis after his 6 last week. Singles for Simpkin, Doverston, O'Sullivan, Darling, Parker, Sheasel, Wardlaw and Spargo. The Giants by 7 points here. They're 3-4 on the year. I will say it doesn't actually improve their position up from 14th. So they're sitting outside the 8 on percentage behind Port Adelaide, St Kilda and Adelaide. Only sitting above West Coast, Carlton, Essendon and Richmond. So I think we can put a line through all those teams. The Giants still hanging in there. You'd rather be 3-4 than 2-5. So a big win for Adam Kingsley's men. North Melbourne now with their 3rd defeat of the year. And as Lauren Arnell mentioned, all their wins have come at Docklands in Melbourne. The Giants by 7 points here. Thoughts of our experts, Jason Saddington and Lauren Arnell.
Well, I'll start with North. And even though they've lost the game, I'd say they've won a lot of admirers with the way they fought out that football contest tonight. They played good footy. They had their moments, and they kept coming at the Giants. Every time it looked like the Giants about to kick away, they kept finding a way to challenge and keep this game alive. Their ball use was good at times. I really liked the games from their experienced players in Luke Parker across half-back and Caleb Daniel. I think they both had big influence setting up the footy for them. We saw Zuha certainly through that first half as well with his ball use. Up forward, Larkey was a good player for them. And in the middle, Tristan Cherry dominated the game. We thought Nick Madden had some good moments as well, but generally across the game, Cherry, a lot of clearances and a lot of footy, and he was a big inclusion for them. They've lost no admirers tonight, North Melbourne. It was their biggest test for the year. And you look at that performance and say, okay, they're a team that's definitely come forward. We've seen them win games of footy this year, but they're going to win more games of football, which was fantastic. For the Giants, it was a win they needed. They found a way to do it, and it was their inclusions that I think made a big difference. Cornelio had some good moments, but definitely up forward. And I think at the start of the game, you changed your tip, Lauren, because of a key back out for North and the worry with the players in for the Giants, and they were probably the difference in the end. We saw the halfbacks were influential for the Giants as well in terms of Ash and Whitfield, but the difference was probably they got a bit more out of their key forwards in Cadman and Hogan, who kicked 3 goals each, and Stringer had influence. So your tip your change of tip might have been right for why the game went to the Giants in the end, I think.
Yeah, we can't underestimate losing Charlie Comben for North Melbourne. I think he's such an important player for them and a really exciting young talent in the league. But I thought the Giants, again, the experience and the way they were able to manage that last quarter, I thought was exceptional and shows how many of their players have played multiple finals, really. I thought North will reflect on it, and it's probably not the best way to describe, I'm enjoying watching how dirty North Melbourne are. They look filthy. And as they should, because they are a good side this year and they've won some good games, and they'll know that they could have won that one. And I think there'll be a reasonable amount of learning for them, particularly in that last quarter. Obviously, the Logue touch that went through as it was called a goal, and all of us seem to think that it wasn't. That will be important. But also, I thought they took a little bit too long late in the quarter to go 1v1, and they just allowed the Giants to take time off the clock and chip the ball around when it suited them. And the ability for GWS to just take metres and force repeat stoppage and keep it mostly in their front half was really intelligent and pleasing for Kingsley after probably not the start to the season he was after.
What about the game of Toby Green? So he takes the record off Cal Ward, 268. He had 27 disposals, 8 clearances, of which 5 of them were from the centre ball up, and 2 goals. That's amazing. For a guy who's not playing forward really at all this year, he stepped up in the middle and he was dominant, especially when you think no Tom Green, Callahan has a quieter game. Toby Green was almost their best midfielder.
And I think you mentioned it early in that last quarter, his leadership for the Giants. When the game was there to probably grab a hold of, it was Toby that was winning the clearances, was kicking the goal, but was directing teammates. I think you saw him point out to Xavier Halloran to throw it on the boot early in that quarter, which they sent it forward and got a goal off. Those moments, we've seen it throughout his whole career. He's the player that lifts them up and carries them across the line sometimes, and it was no different tonight from Toby. And they needed that because they were quieter through the middle. Callahan didn't have the dominant game he'd normally have. Oliver, whilst he probably accumulated through the second half, but I wouldn't say it was a dominant game. And Lockie Ash went quiet in the second half. Simpkin obviously did a good job with him. And it was Toby Green that probably carried him across in that second half.
The voice of Jason Saddington on ABC Sport. Earlier today, St Kilda beat West Coast by 101 points at Docklands. Brisbane by 52 over Adelaide. It's all set up now for round 8 starting Thursday night. We'll look back at the round in full here. Round 7, Anzac appeal round, and get some reaction from the Giants and hopefully the North Melbourne rooms as well with Adam Shirley. The Giants by 7 points here for their 3rd victory of the year after losses in 3 of their past 4 starts. And you can keep your text coming as well, 0437 774. The Giants will make their way down to the rooms in just a matter of seconds. Lekalia leads them off the ground. He was doing a lot of his work in the ruck and up forward at times in this game, Lekalia. Aaron Cadman with 3 goals coming in behind him. And they make their way off Manuka Oval, having completed their first assignment at their second home of 2026. So 7-point winners here. Of course, still with a number of names missing. Josh Kelly, of course, who we won't see. It's a long-term injury for him. Won't see until later on in the year, if at all. And Ollie Hannaford signing some autographs as well, making their way up sort of underneath us here in the Bradman stand at Manuka Oval. So a good win for the Giants here in Canberra, outlasting North Melbourne, who, as Jason Saddington said, will lose no admirers. Just fell short of a 4-quarter effort here, Alistair Clarkson's men.
Did we see the crowd number, Spriggy?
No. We did. Usually see it here. I'll keep an eye out for that. And we'll keep an eye on Adam Shirley, who is in... not yet. We'll get to him very soon. So the Giants are making their way down into the rooms. We'll hopefully hear from one of their players very, very shortly. And I've got a feeling that the AFL's arc might be the most under siege arc since Noah.
There was a free kick towards the end as well that wasn't paid.
There was the earlier St Kilda West Coast, of course. That was glamorous as well. So that will be in focus, I'm sure, across all the Monday magazine shows. Can we get into the Giants' rooms? I think I might hear some...
We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. On to the end, greater than the rest.
Sing out, Adam, when you've got someone, and we'll get into the Giants' rooms, and we'll put a few questions from up here as well to one of the victorious Giants. 7-point winners here this evening in Canberra.
Well, they needed that, didn't they, the Giants? It's been a bit of a sort of hiccup start to the season for them. They were okay against the Swans last week and had opportunities in that derby, but they were able to come out tonight against an informed North Melbourne, get the job done, and it just gets their season sort of going again. For them, obviously a bit to build on for them. It was good for them to have those key players back, especially up forward. And one player I'm really liking to see back out there, and you spoke about it through the quarter, Lauren, is Aaron Cadman, his attack on the ball. We'll chat about that later.
Back to Adam Shirley in the Giants' rooms.
It's a pretty relieved, but also pretty excited group, as you can imagine. It was interesting seeing them come in, Brett, because a lot of the players looked, I don't know, as if they'd managed to dodge one, held out well in the last couple of minutes. One man who had a big smile on his face was the milestone man, Toby Green, the captain and, I guess, spiritual leader in so many ways of this club. Toby Green, congratulations on what was a hard-fought win, because those Roos, they came and came again. How much were you expecting that, particularly in the last quarter?
Oh, it's new the whole week coming into it. You know, they're a good young side starting to build. So new as, you know, we haven't been playing our best footy yet, but sometimes you just got to find a way to win, and I think that's what we did late. They had some big moments. Boys had in offence and defence, you know, some really important moments and contests, and you know, able to find a win, which is just kind of all I wanted coming into it.
Saw a snapshot of your first season kicking a goal, and obviously it was a very different looking Toby Green at the foundation of this club. Through all its changes, its evolutions to where it is today, what makes you most proud about where you've come to now that you've taken, I guess, the club lead in the number of games that have been played?
Probably just, you know, when boys come in now as 18-year-olds, they're expected to, you know, perform at a high level, and you know, we're expected to play finals and win finals, and I feel like, you know, I've been part of, you know, setting the foundations for that, and you know, ultimately you want to be a club that's competing, and you know, you get the best out of individuals. So I feel like we got a good reputation for doing that. Obviously the goal is to win a premiership, but all you can do is give yourself a good chance by making finals and having a crack, and it's what we're able to do for the best part of 10 years. But hopefully this year we can really start the building and get there on the last day in September.
Yeah, Brett's bringing the team upstairs with Toby Green.
Toby, it's Sato up here, mate. Look, congratulations firstly on the games record. A huge milestone for you, so well done, buddy. But more so on the game today, coming in, there was a bit of experience back in the team, especially up forward with Hogan and Cadman. It must be nice for you to step in the midfield and be able to kick to some of those guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sads. Yeah, it was good. Obviously, Binger, Cads, Hogs, Cogs, you know, they all had big moments and all played really well throughout the game. So, yeah, there's no secret that when you bring good players in, it certainly helps. But we also haven't been, you know, really humming as a team yet, and that's what shouldn't really matter who's playing to play your way. So we just got to keep building on that. You know, go up to Gold Coast now, another good team. So, yeah, we got a big month coming up, trying to stay in striking distance to the top 8 and really build.
Toby, it's Lauren Arnell. I've really loved watching your game, and especially this last quarter tonight, just the way that you're able to lead and direct your teammates around you. Can you talk us through how important those last sort of 7-8 minutes were, and the way that you're able to establish stoppage and take metres in big moments?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been working on as a midfielder. It's very different, something I hadn't done for a long time, but yeah, I feel like, you know, I can see the game. I see the game reasonably well, so trying to help us set up, especially, you know, when we're trying to sort of shut the game down and make sure that they're not spitting out the front door. So that is something I'm constantly working on, and you know, as an older player and someone more experienced and as captain of the footy side, it's something I should be good at and something I'll continue to work on.
I thought the whole team managed it really well, and I'm interested as well, just the conversation. Obviously, the game being in Canberra, it would have been quite a few here that you've had in your career, but it looked quite dewy, particularly late in the game as it got a bit colder. How much was there any conversation about changing less handball, more metres, or do you just stick to the game plan and take what's in front of you?
It did get dewy, but just in the last quarter, I thought. But no, we didn't really change how we went about it. You know, we want to take the game on with handball and entice trade up, and you know, try and break teams open. And you know, you don't do that kicking short and taking slow uncontested marks. So no, we weren't changing how we went about it, but certainly got a bit dewy. But you know, it doesn't really change how we want to go about it.
one little left field one for you that probably someone you don't get asked about a lot in these types of interviews, but just your thoughts on Ryan Angwin. He just seemed to turn up in big moments tonight. It probably goes without a disposal or something on the stats sheet, but just seems to be a really important player for your crew.
Oh, he's been, he'd be right up in our best and fairest this year. He's been, his ability to get back defensively and help us shore up that back 50 is, he's as good as any defensive wingman in the comp. And yeah, you're right. Someone who probably doesn't get spoken enough, but what he's been able to do this year and build throughout his career, he's going to be, one of the I see him being the best defensive wingman for the next few years, without a doubt.
Toby, last week in the derby, no goals, 5. You kicked 2 goals straight here tonight. What were you doing during the week to maybe just sort of exercise those demons of last week at the SCG?
To be honest, I had a sore toe, so I didn't really have a kick for goal all week. But I knew I had a bad kicking game against the Swans, and I've had plenty of them throughout my career. Just got to back that. I do the work, and I do put a lot of time and effort into it. And I don't think I have a set shot tonight, but they're the ones. If you miss them, I come off absolutely seething. I can cop quick snaps, but set shots are the ones, and then kicking on the run. I also had one I probably shouldn't have passed tonight. I should have just kicked the goal. So always something to work on, mate.
268 games for you now and counting. I mean, you mentioned during the week how at 32 you thought guys like Luke Power and Chad Corns were very old, and you were 18 coming through in your first year at the Giants. I mean, what are we talking? 300, 350? What's on your horizon still to come, you reckon?
I don't know. 300 would be nice, but 1 week at a time at the moment, mate. Just trying to front up and just contribute and stay. I don't want to just play. I want to play well and be dynamic and continue to get across the ground. So that's what I'm focusing on. To be honest, you look at Pendles and go 430 and just go, that is ridiculous. I don't know how he's done that. So hats off to him, because I just can't see myself doing that. It's amazing what he's done, and he deserves all the credit in the world.
Milestone game tonight, Toby, but there's another milestone in the offing. 6 goals to catch Jeremy Cameron for the most goals for GWS. Good mates with Jeremy Cameron. Have you been on the text with him? I'm sure he'd be aware that you are encroaching on his record.
Well, I speak to him pretty much every week. He's one of my best mates still. So, yeah, I've got to make sure I beat him, because he's moved on. So I need to take that off him. I've got to make sure I kick straight, and hopefully that gets done.
The vibe's always different here in Canberra. Sell-out crowd. It's a great little venue. Do you love coming to Canberra?
Yeah, it is great. It's the crowd gets around it. Playing here Anzac weekend's unreal. I love coming down here this weekend. We got in a bit late last night. Otherwise, I would have tried to get the War Memorial. It's an amazing weekend and something. It's a really great place to play footy. The ground was spectacular. The grass was as green as you'll ever see it. So it's a great place to play.
Appreciate your time, Skipper. Well played tonight.
Easy. Thanks, Hayes.
Toby Green with us here on ABC Sport after the Giants' 7-point win over North Melbourne at Manuka Oval. I did love the way he described his first year at the Giants. Stephen Cornelia, of course, still remains from that team, and said, I thought the guys who were 32, 33 were very old. Now, that's his age now. So he's got a few good years left yet, I'm sure, the Giants skipper.
Well, he actually does, doesn't he? I mean, the fact that he's gone into the midfield this year and looked as young as ever in the way he's playing footy, he probably spent the past 5 or 6 years more as that sort of medium-sized goal-kicking forward, and he's reinvented his game again this year, probably not by choice, but from what was needed from the team, and he's looked as fresh as ever. So important player for them as the year continues to go on, that's for sure, Toby Green.
Do you think he finishes as a Giant for life? So his contract ends this year. You reckon he's someone that
has
to the end?
Yeah, I would have thought so. I couldn't see a chance where the club would want him to go or he would want to go.
Don't you feel like anyone's up for grabs these days? Captains of clubs move. Like Jai Simpkin, the captain of North Melbourne, nearly moved last year. I know that's not perfectly analogous, but
I see he's like the heart and soul type of the club that I couldn't see the Giants like that ever been an option anyway, where he's still got some footy left in him, or if he thought he had footy left in him. I think it'd go more the other way, that the Giants would be like, Toby, 1 more year, and he'd say, I've got no more in me. I think it'd go more that way than Toby thinking, I've got more footy in me, and the Giants don't think so. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, though. If you're another club and you could get him, he is that type of person that you want to bring into your football club.
Imagine if North Melbourne had him tonight. Someone like that in the centre, that extra leader. I don't think he'll go, but worth talking about. And yeah, what a champion of GWS. There from the start, now games record holder 268.
Crowd, by the way, 12,597. So yeah, that's the 12-13 capacity, which is it just feels different too. You get 12,000 at the showground, doesn't quite have the same kind of, dare I say, vibe as what we have here in Canberra.
Well, you see that, don't you, in the rugby league as an example, that smaller stadiums with big crowds, the atmosphere is always great.
Even just the buzz around the crowd, like obviously haven't commentated a game in Canberra before myself, and went and got a quick feed down the road before the game, and just walking around amongst the crowd, and you could really feel the excitement for the game. And that's one of my favourite parts of working in the AFL industry is the crowd just building up prior to a game. And I got that sense today, even with the 13,000 capacity, and it was a ripping game of footy too. Had to be the best game of the round.
Well, it certainly was statistically. So it was. We had an average margin of 55 points before this one. And then we had a 7-point finish in the end. And as I said last night, Freo Carlton was 14 points the Dockers' way. So that was the closest game before this one.
I thought you were about to be a math genius and tell us what the new
I
average
know. Can you help me out, Declan or Akash or someone? I can't do it on the run. The Giants are away to the Gold Coast Suns of Carrara. That's on Sunday night next week. So the Queenslanders have the May Day holiday eve. So that's why there's a sporting event Sunday evening, a 7:20 bounce on the Gold Coast.
I've got 49
under
is
50.
The new average margin.
So we come under 50 with a result here today in Canberra.
Did you start at 50.2 to whatever it was?
Oh, Sado, come on, mate. Sunday night.
North Melbourne will be away to Geelong Cardinia Park. That's one of the twilight games on Saturday night. So I'll go through all what round 8 looks like when we wrap things up here from Manuka Oval in Canberra. You can keep your text coming, 0437 774 774. There's a few to trawl through here as well. Phil from wherever he says, any chance that humans can be involved with umpiring decisions? Technical interventions do not seem to be the answer. Thank you, Phil. Dean points out, by the way, I didn't give you the match review information, but there was probably I don't know how forensically we can analyse the side-by-side comparison laws on the gut punch. That was Simpkin on Ash. But Dean points out Lockie Cowan was only given a fine for his whack on Murphy Reid.
Last night, really?
Yeah, so in the third quarter. So maybe it's no longer a guaranteed week suspension with those sort of things. But
am I wrong that Hawthorn had 2 players last week cited for exactly the same thing?
I don't know how exactly similar. So I haven't seen the Simpkin one yet because I didn't see it in real time. But yeah,
I'll watch the
I'll look at it.
I watched the early stages of Carlton Freo, and I did see the one on Murphy Reid, and you think, well, comparatively last week it looked very similar. And from the vision I got in the box tonight watching that one, it was behind the goals, and I mean, the longer the time has expired since it happened, I keep wishing I could watch it back again.
So I start doubting what you saw.
You do.
We'll see if we can bring it up on the socials or something as well. Giants tragic from WA here. Thanks for the broadcast. I lived in Western Sydney for 10 years and fell in love with my boys in Orange. Missing Sam Taylor, Darcy Jones and Tom Green, but great to see Lekalia and other young'uns flourishing. Let's turn this season around, says Loma in Bibra Lake, WA. That's my old suburb, Bibra Lake. And you wouldn't find many Giants fans running around Bibra Lake, I reckon, where it's mostly Freo territory. But thank you, Loma, for your text. We'll try and get into the North Melbourne rooms shortly as well. The Giants winners by 7 points here, 12,500 the crowd at Canberra's Manuka Oval. I want to give a shout out to Derek and Anne listening in Howard, Queensland. We finished the round with our entire national audience on ABC Sport Digital. Derek and Anne are rugby league followers, and they've followed us across here to their first AFL broadcast I listened to. So thank you, Derek and Anne, listening in Howard, Queensland on the beautiful Fraser Coast.
Hopefully it's not their last.
This was a good display. Doesn't matter about us. The game was great. A guy walked in next to me, civvies but Raiders hat, so he might have been in the same position coming in.
There we go.
His first AFL game.
Everyone talks about the sliding doors moment with Canberra. That that was an Aussie rules town in the sort of 70s, early 80s, and the Canberra Raiders came in. The Brumbies came in probably 10 years later or 15 years later in Super Rugby.
96 they came.
So and then it's become obviously a rectangular, Canberra Stadium out at Bruce. That's where the biggest crowds happen. But there is a dedicated following. It's a key part of the Giants' territory, Sato. Let's get back to Adam Shirley, who's in the Kangaroos rooms.
Yeah, good to be here. And it was a tough loss in many ways for the Kangaroos. And here to talk about it is a young player who had, I think, a pretty outstanding game overall. Finn O'Sullivan. It's actually been a pretty emerging year for you as well. It was for you in the end. When the game was on the line.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. But it was a hard match. They're a very tough team, very physical, a lot of runners in it. So we kind of had to put the pressure on them early, which we think we did, and then we kind of just kept floating away, and then just kind of had to go for it at the end and try and kick a few goals late, but couldn't get the job done.
You really surged again, especially when it looked like the Giants had the running. How much belief is there in this young group as it starts to mature, especially when you look at a similar situation maybe this time last year when you might have let the game go?
Yeah, I feel like we've matured a lot the past 12 months. A lot of boys getting a lot fitter, bigger pre-seasons, and obviously boys looking stronger. But I think it's just a togetherness. We play for each other. We're very, very proud side. I think we do the coaches proud, but it's just about putting full quarter effort in every week, and it will turn definitely, but we should keep knocking the door down.
Brett Sprigg and Declan Byrne upstairs. You're with Finn O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and we've got our experts here, Lauren Arnell and Jason Saddington as well. Finn, back from the jaw injury. Was it nice to get back out there?
Yeah, mate. I hate sitting on the sidelines. I never want to do that again. It was a hard 2 weeks, but very thankful to the doctors to get me back out here this week.
How different? I appreciate you're only a relatively new player and a teenager, but I mean, when guys talk about the cultural shift of the past several years, guys who've been there like Paul Curtis, who have played in like 17% winning rate, the way that you guys are playing now and the belief that you have, what do they say about, I guess, the overall improvement? Is it talked about, or do you just sort of go about it differently this year because of the extra belief that you do have?
I think the belief's always been there. Like you talk about PC, he's been here for 6 or so years. He's put a lot of effort into the club, and I feel like he's just so happy for it starting to come together. We're starting to win games. It just starts from training, starts from getting in the gym. It starts from just our community camps and believing in each other, and then to see it come onto the track and into our games is very special. But we have so much fun working together. We love going into the club every day to get better, and we just want to keep developing our game, and I'm sure we'll keep winning most weeks hopefully, and that's it. Yeah.
Finn, you had a job a few weeks ago. You got big plaudits for shutting down Zach Merritt. What was your task tonight with that star-studded Giants midfield?
Yeah, they have a very good midfield, obviously starting with Callahan. I got the job this week. Jai Simpkin here, he did a role the last 2 weeks on Toronto last week, who unfortunately I think went out of the game halfway through the game, then had Ashcroft, and he did a great job. But I love taking on the role. It gives me something to work to. I never feel like I'm out of the game, whether I'm touching the ball or not. The boys get around me. Callahan's obviously a gun, I kind of just try to stay on his back the whole time and run with him. He obviously had a great game. I'm happy enough with my performance, but just got to go back to the drawing board and get better next week.
So you should be made. We give you the battle of the Finns. We thought you kept Callahan pretty quiet in the game, so congratulations on that front. Obviously disappointing to lose, but probably take us in deeper inside. What was Clarko's comments to the group after the game, and where did he see it?
Yeah, we haven't went into our meeting yet. I'm sure we'll do it in the next 2 or 3 minutes, but I'm sure Clarko will be proud enough of us, but I think at this stage and where we're at, we need to win games. There's obviously a proud aspect side to it, but very disappointed in the loss this week. But we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll get better, I think we have Geelong a 6-day break, so we'll go hard at them. Yeah.
Finn, you mentioned getting roles and Simpkin as well. Did Simpkin get the role on Ash in that second half, and did you stick with it or let it go for that fourth quarter?
Yeah, exactly right. You're spot on. Simpkin went to Ash. Thought he did a great job. Cutting him out, nullifying his performance, but also getting the ball himself, which Jai is so good at. He's definitely someone who I lean on and throw thoughts to. He had a massive role in that. Thought he did a great job, and that's just another thing of putting your team first, did the boys proud.
Can you talk about another experienced head in the side? Luke Parker, off half-back tonight, had an exceptional game and showed some real leadership when you needed it.
Oh, I absolutely love him. He's one of the best in the comp, I reckon. He's puts his hand up every week. Such a leader around these boys, and especially me. Gives me a lot of confidence going into a game. Gives everyone a lot of confidence. So, but for him to back it up at, I think he's age 45 now or something. He's pretty old, but he's just an absolute star. So, hopefully he's got another 3 years in him or so, because he's absolutely gone.
Just lastly, is there anything about your form line so far that says, okay, well, we are winning at home, we haven't won away yet, and you obviously came very close tonight, but is that the next thing for you guys, is having the extra confidence to win outside of Melbourne?
Yeah, to be honest, like, for me, I don't think about if we're playing home and away. It's just about getting the chockies done. This week unfortunately we couldn't get it done. It wouldn't have mattered, I don't think, anywhere where we're playing Giants. They just got the better of us tonight. But as I said, we'll go confident into Geelong next week. We've had a few boys who are a bit sore tonight. We'll recover well, and we'll get going next week.
Great stuff, Finn. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
And that's where we'll finish things in the Kangaroos rooms with Finn O'Sullivan there. The Giants winners by 7 points at Manuka Oval as we put the full stop on Anzac appeal round, AFL round 7. I'll get your votes free shortly if I can, or is Loz doing them? That's awesome. I love that. On Canberra debut, he's doing our 3-2-1s. Just quickly, I'll give you a few numbers just for context. Lockie Whitfield and Harry Sheasel both had 32 disposals. Lockie Ash with 30 for the Giants. Toby Green 28 to go with his couple of goals and 8 score involvements. Lockie Ash had 11 score involvements, by the way, as well. Clayton Oliver with 26. Meanwhile, for the Kangaroos, I mentioned Sheasel with his goal to go with his 32 disposals, 30 for Caleb Daniel, 29 for, 45-year-old Luke Parker? Is that what Finn O'Sullivan said? So, and Dylan Stevens at 25. He had their best kicking efficiency, Dylan Stevens, for what it's worth, and 4 score involvements as well. The Giants winners by 7 points. Give it to us, Loz, who gets your 3 best.
Oh, this is a stitch-up. I've been thinking since the whole post-game started, and I've really battled, I'll be honest. I don't know where you're at, Sado.
I hadn't even got that far. I saw you writing it down. That's why I threw it to you, because you'd actually done some work on it, and I hadn't.
Well, what I will say is...
You've done 1,000 games. You don't know, I usually at some point will say, who are the 3-2-1?
All right. Here we are with many apologies to probably another 4 players.
Okay.
1 vote, Lockie Ash.
Great first half. Terrific.
2 votes, Nick Larkey.
Oh, yeah. 4 goals. Yeah, kept him in it, didn't
Absolutely.
he? Absolutely.
If he's not kicking him, no one is.
Okay, 3 votes. Drum roll.
Toby Green.
Say it with confidence.
Left field. No, honestly, I think Sheasel's been unlucky there. I thought Sherry had an exceptional return. But I just think watching Toby Green in that last quarter when the game was on the line, it's statistically and everything off ball, he gets my 3 votes.
I like it. Match influence. Definitely they all had big impact on the game. Like it.
So, say 3 Toby Green, 2 Nick Larkey, 1 to Lockie Ash.
That's correct.
Okay. Sado agrees with all 3.
So we'll wrap things up the next few minutes here from Manuka Oval in Canberra, so I can close down that here. The earlier today I mentioned St Kilda beat West Coast by 101 points at Docklands. Nazar Miller had 34 disposals and Jack Higgins kicked 5 goals. It was the first time since 2015 the Saints have won by 3 figures. Brisbane beat Adelaide by 52 points at the Gabba, of which Charlie Cameron kicked 4 goals. Zach Bailey had 3. Lockie Neal, 42 disposals, and Will Ashcroft had 36 in that win over the Crows. I'll give you the latter in just a sec. To recap the round before all that, so the Swans thrashed the Dogs back on Thursday night to remain on top. Melbourne took care of business against Richmond at the MCG on Friday night. Highlighted by 4 goals and a Mark of the Year contender for Crosby Pickett. Melbourne will remain in the top 4 with North's loss this evening. So that keeps the 4 as Sydney, Freo, Hawthorn, Melbourne. All a game clear of Brisbane and North Melbourne. Then I'll get to that in a second. Our bumper day of Anzac Day fixtures saw Hawthorn smash Gold Coast. Jack Gunston kick 5. The Suns have now lost 3 of their past 4, conceding 100 points again. And they've got the